The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021, and this sports show on YouTube begins now. Yeah! Can't thank you enough for joining us. Congrats to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Getting back on track on Monday Night Football. And it doesn't matter if you watch on ESPN or ESPN2 during the Manning cast, you got a chance to see Kevin Hart fucking kill it. Mm-hmm. What are you quiet for? There was some hate yesterday from some people in this office about Kevin Hart being on the show. I am a massive Kevin Hart fan.
I like
Kevin Hart
too.
Joined the Monday Night Manning cast and crushed it.
Hell yeah.
Bill Parcells still has his fastball.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Condoleezza Rice, how you doing? Good conversation. And Julian Edelman closed it out well. Learning from Peyton and Eli while watching that game was a thing of beauty because Peyton has yet to get a single call right on what an offense would do. So that makes me feel better because the guy who literally was an offensive coordinator and one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time can't predict what other teams are doing. So how do we do it? Nobody knows. I did say Bucks minus 11.
Yep, you did.
And then I tweeted Bucks by 1,000 after the game started. And they did not win by 1,000, but they did win by 20. And it never looked uncomfortable for them. Tom Brady obviously skirted, not for 10 yards. It was actually 11. That's a dumb question. How you doing? Keep it moving. My pliability is at an all-time high. Without Antonio Brown in the lineup, with Gronk returning, though, can certainly be quite a benefit to an offense, especially when you're playing against the Giants who stink.
Terrible. Yeah, they do.
The Giants stink.
They're not good at football.
Great uniforms, though.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Those uniforms they had on last night were absolutely unbelievable. Saquon Barkley, I know he's coming back from an injury and had another one and everything like that. Is he dead?
He certainly looks like it.
I had a couple different parlays that had anytime touchdown scores. Godwin, how you doing? Thank you, man.
Baby Godwin.
And there was a lot of action, obviously. Cam Brate was in a lot of the plays that I thought Gronk was going to be in there. And I had Gronk touchdown, anytime touchdown score in a lot of my parlays, and that ruined everything. Although Gronk did have 70-some yards in his return. He looked fantastic. That Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense, when Antonio Brown gets back in there, I think we need to no longer question. Now, with the Buccaneers defense, who do they play against?
Nobody.
That's the thing now. Yeah. So it's hard to even judge the Buccaneers because the easiest thing to do after watching that game last night is like, well, Saquon Barkley, for whatever reason, pitter-patter then can't hit it anymore. Is it him? Is it the team? Is it the scheme? Is it the strategy? Is it Danny Dimes? What is it over there in New York that we haven't been able to see the Saquon Barkley that we all knew, we all loved, and we all had high hopes for? Is it potentially time for us to think about maybe Saquon going somewhere else, starting anew, maybe with a fresh chip on his shoulder, having to prove himself somewhere else, and maybe in a different vibe? Because the only conversation out of last night, Tom Brady still got it. The Bucks get a big win down in Tampa on Monday Night Football. The weather looked fantastic. Coach A.Q. Shipley was on TV before the game, looking slim. His head shiny as it ever could fucking be. His calves looked gigantic. They didn't have Vita Vea last night. Thought Saquon was going to go. Thought he was going to go. Had alternate run line or rush yards at like 40, which was minus 350 or something like that. Terrible bet. You can add it into a parlay to add a little juice. Didn't get it.
No, he didn't. No.
Didn't get any of it. So is the Bucs defense back, or are the Giants so inept? Which leads to the next question. Shout out to Coach A.Q. Shipley. Speaking of coaches, people are saying they're trying to run the clapper out of New York.
No.
The offense has been so good, though.
No, well, the offense has been terrible before he got there as well, though. So Jason Garrett inherited a bad offense with a terrible offensive line, and nothing has really changed since Jason Garrett has got the reins. Now, we don't see nearly as much clapping and smiling as we had down in Dallas, but down in Dallas, there was like 4 or 5 years straight where everybody thought Jason Garrett was going to get fired because the averageness of the Cowboys did not lead up to the hype of what the Cowboys was before the season. But Jerry Jones said, Jason's like a son to me. Okay, play quarterback here, he's head coach. So this is a family decision we got to make. This ain't a coaching decision. This is a family decision. And it took like 3, 4, 5 years for Jerry Jones to finally fire somebody that he calls his son and get him out of there. Mike McCarthy comes in. Team stinks last year. Dak gets hurt. Feels like they're a baby back. So I wonder if the Giants fans, who had to play against Jason Garrett's very averageness for a long time in the same division, said whenever he came in, this motherfucker's got about a year or two. We saw what he did in Dallas. It feels like here, after week 11 now has officially ended in an 18-week season, now the coaching hot seat, and this person stinks, that person stinks, get him. Now, Orlovsky was calling for this 5-6 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Not just for the coaches we're talking about right now, but any coaches could potentially get run out of a job 5, 6, 7 weeks ago by Orlovsky. And he had footage, by the way, to prove that. But the NFL is a season. It is a grind. We live by it day by day. Week 11, 18-week season. People have been fired by this point already. Ron Rivera was released like week 5. I don't know what it was. It might have been later than that. It felt like it was early in the season. There is some seats getting hot. Not just Jason Garrett. We have no idea what that looks like. And to be honest, nobody cares about the Giants, which is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after listening to how Parcells talked about it and how much pride I think the Giants organization has in the history and the tradition, and obviously Eli and everything going on with those teams. Strahan, it is nothing like that. That team fucking stinks. They're like 20-60 or something.
Yeah.
Over the last certain amount of years.
There was a graphic last night. It said 3-6, best start since like 2016 or
They stink. Nobody cares about them, so that doesn't matter. Another team that stinks that everybody does seem to still care about, because it was just a couple years ago, they almost won on a run. Hey, there's fire Nagy chants happening. There's a lot of let's go Brandon's happening around.
Right. Sure.
You know, there's a lot of chants now in Chicago. Fire Nagy is being chanted not just at Bulls games because they get so boring. And remember, this is not new, okay? If fans get bored at games or games are going bad, there's always in Pittsburgh, okay? You go to a Penguins game, it's bad. You go to a Pirates game, it's bad. You even go to a Steelers game, it's bad. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go. That starts echoing through, like, if you're at a Penguins game and Here We Go Steelers starts, it's just like a wave starting basically in a crowd. We are bored. This is not what we like to do. Anytime the wave comes,
Not good.
Not good.
There was a wave in the Barclays Center, a few of them, 8 of them. They took 8 laps.
During the Nets game?
No, on Sunday at Survivor Series. I was sitting there next to Sam Roberts, actually, in between matches. I wasn't calling. And all of a sudden, we see like a little excitement come from one area, and then in the next one, then in the next one. And Sam and I actually saw the wave get birthed on Sunday. And me and Sam were like, oh, no.
That's not good.
I was like, Sam, if they're starting to get some momentum, they just want 6 sections there. If this thing, and then all of a sudden, lo and behold, that thing started taking it. And it took the tractor another round. And then a couple minutes later, somebody started, and then they booed him, and then another chant happening. But the fire Nagy chants aren't just happening at Bulls games. They're happening at Nagy's kids' high school football.
No, not his son.
Can't do that.
Chicago's disgusting.
That's-
Terrible people.
Hey, Nagy with the catch or whatever position he plays in, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's right, he is here. Fire Nagy! I mean, that is unbelievable. That is what life is like as a head coach, and that's not just going to slow down. They got a game on Thanksgiving. If the Bears lose on Thanksgiving against a terrible football team.
It's a win-win for us.
They
though.
are playing a terrible football team. It is going to get very loud for Nagy, and he's not the only one. There will be other coaches that will join those seats soon, and that's the NFL season. That's the business, and I guess we'll just see how it all plays out. We have Justin Herbert joining us in about 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
Can't wait to chat with Justin. The time, they said 12:30-ish. You know,
Okay.
12:30-ish, so we'll be able to figure that out. 3 hours behind over there in Los Angeles. I can't wait to chat with him. I assume it's going to be fantastic. Aaron Rodgers joins us on this beautiful Aaron Rodgers Tuesday a couple hours from now. Can't wait to hear what's going on with the fucking toe.
Come on, Aaron. How did it happen?
So we learned about the egg, Cleopatra's egg, $100 million egg.
That's right.
Yeah.
Last night on Raw.
Rock had it.
No, The Rock didn't.
he
He
did not.
might have had the other two, but The Rock gifted Cleopatra's egg to Vince McMahon. That's why Vince McMahon was so worried, actually. Not just because it's $100 million. Vince McMahon shits out $100 million, but The Rock gave it to him. He's upset.
That's right. It's a gift.
If I caught all the storyline accurately, that I was not a part of during the show at all.
Checks out.
He found it. Austin Theory had it.
Austin Theory?
Austin Theory had it.
Of course.
Why'd he steal it?
Superstar Austin Theory.
Yeah, Austin Theory, by the way, incredibly attractive dude. He knows it, understands it, very athletic. I don't think anybody could have guessed Austin Theory was the guy behind the $100 million egg.
No, definitely not.
Not the
Sami
entire
Zayn did.
Survivor Series.
Yeah.
The entire Survivor Series. There is no way. Sami Zayn, I guess, was the only one, but he was called a snitch by Vince McMahon.
Thought KO might have had it.
Well, KO, if Sammy, maybe that's the whole thing. But KO will fight. He's not just going to steal things. Yeah,
Well,
KO
not on Sunday.
Anyways, the egg was found.
Thank
God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank you, Austin Theory.
And we had an entire Survivor Series trying to find his fucking thing.
Yeah.
17-hour Survivor Series to find his thing. Austin Theory had it.
Misunderstanding. I just wanted to take a selfie.
Just
with
want a selfie. Hey, he understands the game, the algorithm, the Instagram. He knows he has a $100 million egg in his picture. That's going to go.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not the only mystery happening in sports. Happy that got figured out, by the way.
Yeah,
Way
yeah.
to go.
Thank you. Thank you, Theory.
And to the incredibly unathletic looking fan that decided to take a 40-yard run up
Jesus.
and spears Seth Rollins last night on Raw, and then Seth Rollins gets taken out and then puts him into a guillotine immediately. And Chavo Guerrero, who I am a fan of his work growing up, he said, remember when wrestlers were tougher than fans? Seth is still working that camera right there and then had no idea this dude comes stumbling, storming, running around the corner, tackles him. I think Seth got him in a guillotine immediately, hit him with a couple kicks, couple refs. And I am genuinely upset that I was not there. This is okay. This is time for a free shot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this happened, not in life do you get a lot of opportunities where it's like, hey, you're allowed to just go punch this guy. Like, if you punch him, everybody will be thankful for it.
Yeah.
Bret Hart got stormed by a fan in his Hall of Fame induction. Ronda Rousey's husband,
Travis
Brown. He was in the ring. He saw the guy. I think he was in the ring before he even tackled him. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, like I'm a professional fighter. I'm 6'10". I'm more powerful than you. And also, like, this is in society. I'm allowed.
Yeah.
Boom.
Beat the shit out of him.
Oh.
Beat the absolute shit out of him.
And then the FTR guys, what are their names? North Carolina guys. They're good guys. Fuck. FTR, they're tag team. They're now in AEW. They were helping escort them out, and there's a clear video of right today, because that is the time that you can do that. And you saw like 3 refs get in there. I saw a couple. Good and then there was a couple boom in that whole thing. What a slob this guy was that came running in there. What a bum. They found the egg. This guy's in jail. I do wish that because Seth broke character a little bit. I think he called him a bitch and a fucker, which is awesome. Maybe let him cut those promos because it sounded very natural coming out of his mouth. Happy that's okay. They found the egg. This guy's in jail. Now, what happened to Aaron's toe?
Good question.
Someone find out.
We are the only people.
We got
I hope.
I think we are the only people that could potentially find out. Aaron will join us in about 2 hours or whatever. Ty Schmidt. I tried to read all the journalism books last
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Last night I tried to. I didn't have watch the game, fall asleep because I hadn't slept the night before. Really.
Sleep a little.
Sleep a little. Find a little bit of that because I hadn't slept in like 48 hours or whatever.
You just had read all the medical books.
Last week because of Dr. Joe Rogan and everything.
Took the bar exam.
Yeah, I did take the bar exam, but I actually couldn't get in until after the last interview.
Okay.
But if anything ever happens in the future with a pandemic and a vaccine and everything like that, I did.
We'll be good to go.
I did take the test, and I'm ready for the follow-up questions.
Okay.
In this particular one, I tried to read all the journalism books last night. What if he no comments us? What if he dances around? He's an incredibly intelligent man. What if we don't get the answer? Are we the fucking assholes then all of a sudden, Ty Schmidt? What are you expecting out of this conversation?
I mean, I don't know. I think we got to dig a little bit because it was. I mean, you mentioned it yesterday. Like, we made a joke out of it. It was trending. We did the hashtag and everything. And then, the robot Pelissero is reporting that, hey, this is actually like a very serious deal. I mean, guys who get turf toe typically are out, 2 to 4 weeks, 3 to 6 weeks. Like, Packers can't afford to have Aaron Rodgers not play. We saw it a couple weeks ago. Jordan Love, like, they're in a position right now where the NFC is so top heavy too. Like, this guy needs to be healthy. We need to know what the hell is going on with his toe.
I know nobody likes to talk about it with Aaron because, he is like this hippie, whatever.
Sure.
Just kind of like, If he's playing through like a broken fucking toe down there and running and moving or whatever, if it's worse than turf toe that takes people out 2-3 weeks, it's broken. That's a fractured toe. Everything moves off your toe. You stub your toe. That's your pinky toe normally. Terrible. You have to walk like this. Big toe actually full-time stubbing of the toe.
Oh, man.
That changes everything. It's literally every movement you make is affected by it. What a tough hippie son of a bitch this guy is.
Well, and that's why I didn't think it was really that serious, because in the Seahawks game, which would have been the game right after it happened, like, it didn't really look like he was favoring it. He scrambled a couple times, and, like, you know, it didn't look like he was kind of like limping or favoring it at all. But then you hear before the Vikings game, and I'm sure it's painful as hell, but, like,
he's too stubborn of a hippie.
He needs a boot.
He's too stubborn. You know what I mean?
I don't think he's practicing again this week.
Oh, I think they got it out to preface, like, hey, if you see him miss any time, this is what is happening.
Yeah.
Like, I think they did it to get in front. Like, hey, we need Sunday. We already saw him whenever he's out of the building for 10 days. Obviously, we'll have him in the building. We just need him to get to Sunday. Then we have a bye week. We will, in our task, probably with the ones to find out what happened to the toe. And I have not slept a wink, you know, trying to figure it out. Yeah. At Boston Connor. Obviously, the Aaron Rodgers conversation should be good, but I think what I want to talk to you about is the ever-evolving slate of information that we have about the Bill Belichick-Tom Brady relationship.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, there's books, there's quotes, there's secondhand, third-hand, fourth-hand stories, there's dads getting involved.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot that we've heard of these two GOATs. Greatest of all time, greatest coach, greatest GM of all time, 20 years, greatest dynasty of all time.
Hell yeah.
Two alphas, you know, that obviously weren't able to make it work forever for whatever reason, depending upon whose third, fourth, sixth connection story do you listen to. Last night, Tom Brady paid an homage to Bill Belichick. An old coach of mine said it's not about who you play, it's how you play them. That was to Bill Belichick. What do you think's going on over there? You think Tom Brady is like, hey, everybody needs to relax? I said, why didn't he say his name? What old coach of mine?
Yeah, hey, Tom, we know you're talking about Bill. He's the only old coach, aside from the ones that you currently have, that you've ever had. But, I mean, you know, I think it was blown out of proportion for a while. Last year, I think there was a real thought that, these two were button heads for, you know, the last 3 years of the Brady and Belichick era. But that's kind of, you know, fallen to the wayside. It does seem as though Brady might be in, you know, some sort of ownership role in New England. Possibly.
So, how do you pitched this earlier.
This is a theory. Yeah,
you pitched this earlier. How, and why?
Kraft always says, I love Tom like a son. He is like a son to me. Brady said after the Bucks-Pats game on the field in his post-game interview, you know, when it's all said and done, the fans will be able to see a lot more of me around here.
Well, that's because he's not playing football for
another city. Of course,
city.
He's not playing football for another city, but no one retires to Boston. They really don't do that. They stay down in Tampa. They stay down in Florida.
A lot of the whites from Boston, you're saying, retire.
They flock down.
Just like Tom.
Just like Tom did. They don't
Nobody
flock
says,
up.
hey, I'm down here now. I can't wait.
Birds don't fly north for the winter, Pat.
Snowbirds.
You can check science. And snowbirds don't count. Penguins can't fly. Duh.
Penguins can play hockey, though. So fucking good.
That's right.
Anyways,
that's why the Bruins bottom, and they're not part
the
of Boston.
Bruins aren't.
That's
not about this. We're talking about Bill and Tom.
I think there's a chance Brady gets maybe 5% of the team.
That's
maybe.
so much money.
A lot of money. But also think about what New England would be as an organization if they didn't have Brady. They wouldn't be one of the highest, valued.
So is he going to give Bill some too then, and Bill's just going to pass that on down to Steve, or how do you think that works? Because if Kraft gives Tom some, then immediately the conversation, Kraft did like Tom more than he liked Bill because he's not giving Bill any. Then it just generates even more bullshit and drama. I don't know if, when you pitched this earlier, I was no fucking way is an owner just handing a player a percentage, especially 5%. That's a lot. It's a lot of money. And all these business moves that happen, I've been pitched by companies that are failures and have never worked and will never work, 0.5%, and they acted as if that was a big deal. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay, that is not 5% would be huge in that whole thing. But to your point, that'd be an easy way, just like old Tepper did with Cam Newton. Hey, here's $10 million. Yeah. Okay, we apologize for how it ended. We're much better with you around us, though. That'd be a lot larger than a $10 million investment. But to Tom, hey, we want you to legitimately still feel like you're a part of our family, because Peyton Manning has a statue here.
Yeah.
Okay, he got his thing. He lives in Denver full-time.
That's right.
He is in Denver full-time in their community. He's no longer here. Maybe Kraft would like to keep old Tom Brady around. That'd be a great way to do it. And Tom's a businessman.
Exactly.
Tom is a businessman.
Yeah.
He is very, very, very good off the field at what he does. Maybe that would be a brilliant move by Tom.
Well, and 5% is a lot, like you just said. It could be 2.5%. It could be 1%. And
which is still a massive amount.
A ton of money. And I do assume the statue is probably coming of both Bill and Tom, because obviously they're going to bring him back when it's all said and done and retire 12 in New England. It's not like anybody's going to wear that jersey again. So
I
that's
think
just
Vince
me
Wilfork is like, what did I get all these fucking kisses on the cheek for if I'm not getting a percentage?
What about me?
What about I'm like a son? Am I? I'll take a goddamn quarter.
I was there for the
Do
Super
they have to give him a
Bowls.
percentage? Can't they just open it up for him to buy? I mean, Giselle's got all the money in the fucking world. Tom's got a.
I don't know how it is with the dilution of shares in the NFL. I have no idea. Like the Packers can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're publicly owned. I don't know about how.
That scam they're running.
It's like the Colts here in town. Okay? 3 daughters. Kaylin, Carly, and one that stays out of the public eye.
Smart.
I was trying to decide whether or not I should say her name, obviously.
Yeah.
But
But she is
She
not
stays out of the public
Yeah,
eye.
she stays out of the public eye. And who am I to say?
You're not going to make that choice for
No,
her.
I'm not doing that.
No.
But like that team probably stays within the family, right? So
Yeah.
they probably all get
Yeah.
third of it. What if one of them doesn't want to be in anymore? Then what? 33% is potentially up for sale, and then how does that whole thing work? And then how much money do I have to pay to who?
Well, and that's basically what's going on with the Chargers right now in the Spanos family. Like the 2 of the siblings want
Not
to keep
that any
it.
of the Ursays would want to sell, by the way.
Right.
I am not saying that at all. Kaylin, Carly, and I believe the one that is they're all very much involved. This is not like they are day to day in the building, very much a part of it. I'm just saying that situation in comparison. I don't want anybody to think that they are that is not what they're doing. But you're right. At the Chargers, this is kind of something that's going on.
Well, and there's no bullshit involved with that. It's like people aren't, kicking the tires on like, oh, I think I might want to buy ownership in an NFL team. Like if someone comes to, the Chargers or the Colts or whatever, if that were to happen, like, it's like, okay, well, this person has money. They're going to do this.
And it's the NFL is a business that everybody would like to get into.
Yeah.
Because Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the richest company in the world with the richest man in the world, the company that through this pandemic actually got better.
yeah.
Yep.
It was crafted for a pandemic, basically. Now it'll change everybody's life forever. We've all been affected by Amazon in one way or another. There's other companies that have adapted Amazon's model and is like other entire industries have done it. Amazon kind of set the precedent for all this. That's why they have everybody's money. They have everybody's money.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like, I think at first they were tech stuff. Then they moved into obviously groceries and they are everybody's money they have. They're talking to the NFL about gaining like more rights. Amazon is in talks with the country's richest sports league about acquiring up to a 49% stake in the NFL Network, Red Zone, and other digital entities. By the way, shout out to Front Office Sports. I wonder how much you guys are for sale. I don't think you thought that I forgot about that, but the NFL hired Goldman Sachs in June to negotiate a deal for its media property. So Goldman Sachs, they created their own market, right? In the stock market, Goldman Sachs it is riddled with interesting stories and controversies with their handling and business maneuvers. They have all the cash as well.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell just happened?
That was Zito. But he would say right now that
That was me.
It wasn't Z.
nailed it. What the fuck is he watching?
I don't know.
Live during the show. We are live right now.
My laptop was up there. So
What?
Shaggy music video on YouTube.
We were singing it yesterday.
Zito, I fucking love you, dude. I love you so much. By the way, he said some damning things in that song to then follow up with "It Wasn't Me."
He did.
Tommy man. Okay, Zito just gave me word that 12:30 is locked in for Justin Herbert, so we have to get to a break relatively soon. Thank you, Zito, for being able to juggle all those things, including a sing-along with Shaggy.
Got it, maybe Z.
But Amazon trying to get Amazon trying to get a 49% share of all that is because they want more games on their platform.
All for it.
And
Yeah.
I am 100% for it. It's easy to get to. Anybody can. Me trying to figure out how to fucking watch these games on Sunday at Survivor Series, having to log into this is this, get this stream for this. Amazon has it already built in. Everything is right here.
Boom.
Bingo.
Amazon would be a potential perfect platform for us.
Yeah.
They do everything right.
Is that what the big news is?
Whoa.
Let's get to a break. We're back and forth with Justin Herbert. No platform deal has been made, but we We're up to something big. Very, very soon. Very, 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 very soon. We're back in 4 minutes with Justin Herbert. Be a friend, tell a friend. We'll see you then. I just saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that was from Jim Irsay. What was that, and have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, I mean, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings, and for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. So, pretty cool experience. Pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch. I got Faneca. I got these guys in the background.
Boys, how you? Congratulations! Yeah! Congratulations, boys! All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady, you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was 17 going into that. And, you know, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking. Nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special. Well,
I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff, Hall of Famer, Peyton Manning. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee.
Unreal.
Oh, yeah. Foxy's added some new tools to the arsenal.
A couple transitions.
Some new shots to the bag. Wow. I assume we've had access to these for a long time?
I've known about them forever.
Yeah. Why not today?
I guess. I mean, you just found out about them, so let's go.
Can we hit one more of those
things?
Yeah,
here we go. We'll go to the boys.
Yeah.
Whoa! Shit, dude! Bring it on! How about this one? Whoa!
What? Bring it back. I'm blue. I would green. I would die. I would green. I would die. That's Meg Foxy. Hey, wait, really up.
Meg Foxy.
That boy Foxy. Foxy. Welcome back to the show.
Those are awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on this glorious Tuesday. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. That's right. November 23rd, 2021. Aaron's not the only superstar quarterback joining us.
Whoa.
That's right now, live in Los Angeles, the Chargers superstar quarterback, a man that's 6'9", 300 pounds, throws the ball all over the yard out of a tiny town in Oregon. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Herbert.
I appreciate the intro, but I think that might have been too much for me, though.
No. You deserve more. You deserve more. I actually take him off the screen. Take him off the screen, please. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, a quarterback that is changing the game with a rookie head coach, had a little bit of an ebb and a flow, and back on top after a Sunday night football victory that showcased not only that this man can throw, can run, but his hair is back to being glorious as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Herbert!
It's an honor to be here.
Anything about the intro?
It was awesome. I loved it.
Okay, the honor's all ours. How you doing, man? Big win. You looked fantastic. There was a little bit of a time where I think the national narrative, I don't know about Chargers media, the national narrative was, how does the rookie head coach, how does the young quarterback, how do they get out of this entire thing? It feels like Sunday you guys found your rhythm again. What was it, and what do you think's happening with your team?
Yeah, that one got awfully close. I thought it was good for us to kind of bounce back and deal with some adversity because, we had quite the lead and kind of found a way to give it up. But we battled back and the defense came up with some big stops. So just got to keep building off of that.
I feel like last year we saw you answer a lot. And I think that is why so many people got so excited, not just about the Chargers team in the future, but about Justin Herbert. And I know you don't like speaking about yourself, and that's honorable and admirable, especially in the world that we're in. He's in LA too. You're in that. I mean, you are an anomaly, sir, but I feel like you do have that thing in you where you answer. Like there's never a moment that's too big. It feels like you relish those moments when you have to make a big play, whether it's a throw to Mike or a run or another ball down the seam. Have you always been that way? Do you think it's just kind of your football mannerism? Is it other sports that kind of created that? Why do you think you are that way?
Well, I appreciate that. I think it kind of starts with all our preparation. Spending the time with our quarterbacks coach, Shane Day, Joe Lombardi, and all the quarterbacks in our room. We've worked on our drops, our footwork, everything for so long, and so that when you get put in that situation, you better have an answer for it. And we've made our fair share of mistakes and interceptions, incompletions, and you have to learn from those. And football's an awfully tough game, and as long as you keep making mistakes and learning from them, I think you'll like where you end up.
Austin Eckler had like 4 touchdowns or something like that, and when he joined, hey, is he? When you and him are, he is.
No, he's tall. He's a pretty tall guy.
Well,
it doesn't matter. I don't know if it matters. He has like 0% body fat. He's incredibly explosive. We love chatting with him because he's entertaining and everything like that. But when we talked to him, he talked about Brandon Staley and the team explaining why, the whys of why everything. Like, hey, this is what we're doing on offense to the entire team. This is what we're doing on defense to the entire team. This is what we're doing on special teams. Is that something you've enjoyed as well that kind of Coach Staley has brought in? And what other things do you think have really made you guys a better squad this year?
It's one of my favorite meetings of the week. On Thursday, we talk about the game plan to success, and we talk about special teams, offense, defense, and we go over that, and you kind of learn more about what the defense is doing and special teams is doing. And I think it's really cool to go out there on Sunday and especially see that happen in the game plan. And they talk about plays, they talk about how they're going to rush the passer, all this stuff that they talk about, and you get to see it happen live. And I think that's the part that's really cool for us.
What do you do off the field right now? Anything? Are you just studying film all the time? Are the bright lights of LA getting in the way at all, or what's going on?
No, I've kind of stayed out of that. Just focusing on film, lifting, rehab, working out, doing all those things to get right so you have any chance to play on Sunday.
You're an absolute animal. And we found that out at his first drive.
Yeah.
And we don't have to take the visit back, but obviously golf tee, tie rod's long, Herbert's in, first drive, run somebody over.
Yeah.
Whole team loves. Here we go. We are in the Herbert era now. What do you weight? What height, weight, and what workouts? Do you just do sustainable workouts, or are you trying to get stronger as you go?
I'm about 240 right now.
Come on.
Just trying to maintain weight. It's a long season. 18 weeks is long, and if I can maintain that weight for 18 weeks, I feel like I'm setting myself up for a shot.
Do you do any training like Rocky type training?
Not quite, but I've looked into it, so I might have to start working on that.
Well, because I thought, like, if you train just getting punched in the stomach, like if it was to happen in a game, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Because Cam Hayward, future Hall of Famer, big guy, he brought that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, did you even feel that? Did you eat that? What was that? And did you talk to him since the game? Have you chatted with him?
No, I think it was a mistake. I think I think he slipped. I don't think anything was intentional. And, football's an awfully emotional game. And, sometimes you get caught up in the pile. And I've got no hard feelings to him. And, he's an incredible player. I've got so much respect for his game. So whatever happens, happens. And it's on to the next play.
And I assume he feels the exact same way about you. Are you chatty on the field? You're not really known as a chatty person, but I assume there's some defenders now at this point with 240 pounds.
Jeez Louise.
Jeez, so big. There has to be some people trying to get at least a little bit of a mental edge. Like, hey, Herbert, have a good time today. Is there any interaction between you and defenders, or is mostly quiet?
Well, it's actually kind of been funny so far. Everyone's been really nice. It's one of those things. I've actually really enjoyed talking to people on defense. And, the longer you're in the league, the more you get to know people and you get to talk with them. And, they bounce from team to team. So just being able to talk with them and say, hey, how's it going? Good game and stuff like that. It's been really interesting.
Did it feel like anybody hated you, despised you? Did it feel like, have you been out there in the middle of it yet? I know this is still young in your NFL career, but has there been any moments where you're like, well, it feels like that person has hate in his heart towards me? Has there been any of that?
Not yet, but people have probably done a pretty good job of hiding it. So I think that's something I have to pay more attention to.
When you go into play like a Denver team in a division that is there any you're still so young. You're still so young, but you carry yourself like a vet, and you've played your entire rookie year. We got a chance to watch just so many close games. When you're playing a divisional opponent, is there anything that helps, or is it you guys are in a new offensive scheme now, new defensive scheme? You kind of just got to look at it like each individual game is coming?
I think looking back and watching the games from last year, I think that can be super helpful. But ultimately what it comes down to is you're going to have a good week of preparation. You're going to need to watch as much film as you can. And, this Denver team, they've got a really good defense and they're playing some pretty good football. And it's up to us to have a good week of preparation so that we have any chance on Sunday to win.
Have you changed your routine at all? Are you building your routine currently? Like you had your first off season. Did it go exactly how you thought? Have you looked back on anything, how you would change, and do your week-to-week change as you're trying to find your forever routine here as an NFL quarterback?
Yeah, I think one of our best additions would be Chase Daniel. He's one of those guys, a veteran quarterback that has been around the league so long, has had so much success that, he's kind of led us through our film routine. And it starts today on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and going through it and having a plan of watching certain aspects of the game. And I think he's been super helpful.
Today's Tuesday, Herbert.
Yeah, I know it's Tuesday. I just meant at the start of the week.
I was a little bit worried. Are you guys playing Monday night? Are you playing Monday night or Sunday?
Sunday, I believe.
Wow. This guy.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's Thursday, by the way. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, Herbert. Hope you enjoy that. Are you going to kick any field goals this year? Because I saw you, obviously, training camp fucking smoke one. That was a good ball.
No, I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
Hamstring?
Just got to stick to throwing the ball.
Did they say hammy? No more hammy blowout? Potential?
Yeah, just take it easy over there.
Oh, that is amazing. Go ahead, Ty.
Justin, on Twitter and stuff like that, people always talk about the battle for LA or whatever, and how sometimes at Chargers games it seems like it's 50-50, and then you got the Rams who are bringing in all these guys. Do you guys at this point feel like does SoFi actually feel like your home stadium? Do you feel like you have home field advantage there?
I love playing at SoFi. The Chargers fans, they always show up, and they've done an incredible job of showing their support, and their support means the world to us. And, it's always tough because opposing teams, they do travel well. It's the NFL. It's always going to be tough, but SoFi is definitely our home.
That place looks like a space station, huh? Is that what it's like behind the scenes, like the locker room? It looks is it so much nicer than all the other stadiums you go to, I assume?
It's really impressive. We're so lucky to be able to play there. It's the facilities are second to none, and, it's an awesome field.
Hey, and they say this about NFL quarterbacking, but you did it last year and you're continuing to do it. When you throw to a spot, is that just a feel thing? And does it change? Obviously, Keenan's a stud, Mike's a stud, you have a lot of weapons. But when you're thrown to a spot where it's only your guy, there's no thinking, that's just kind of naturally happening to you? And have you always been that type of quarterback, even in college?
I think it has to be that way. I don't think you can think and throw at the same time. And I think the more you think, the worse the throw is probably going to be. And I think that's just one of those things that you have to kind of learn through and go through with experience. And I think it's much like kicking too. And if you think, you're probably making some trouble for yourself.
Yeah, paralysis by analysis. I was too dumb to ever think, which is good news for me. So I think you're way too smart. Hope you'll get through that. Have you adjusted anything with your body for the long season, via college into the NFL with your technique? For instance, we talked to Josh Allen. He put lasers on his body or some sort of device like a golf swing, and he found out that although he had a strong arm, his elbow was in front of his hip. That's why he wasn't as accurate. Do you work on all those little finer details still? Are you still evolving, or are you pretty set with your motion?
No, I haven't worked on anything quite like that. I think that's maybe something to address in the next offseason. But I think a lot of the footwork stuff, a lot of the drop mechanics that we worked on this past offseason, I think that's been super helpful this year.
Oh, you can feel it.
Exactly.
Just more comfortable in the drop? Like you're not hitching as much? How can you feel it? It just is coming a lot easier and quicker to you? Is the game slowing down because of it?
Yeah, I think it kind of starts with setting up the pocket and not getting too deep and being able to step up and kind of have a sense for where the pocket's going to be. And if there are free rushers, you have to take quick little steps to kind of avoid those guys. So it's definitely challenging, but have gotten a lot better at it.
Wow, you're crushing it, dude. Go ahead, Tom.
Justin, like in reference to that and pocket awareness and stuff like that, there was many times on Sunday where you would step up.
It's a diehard Steelers fan you're talking to right here, by the way.
Great game Sunday. Where you'd step up and there was literally no one in front of you. And that happened like 10 times. When that happens, do you still try to sit there and make a throw, or you're like, I'll take this 20 yards easily?
I think that's kind of the challenge that you have to face when you're playing quarterback. And, it's obviously great to go through your reads and find a guy downfield and make a completion. But at the same time, if it's third down and you need to be able to go get 5 or 6 yards, going and scrambling and finding a lane to run, I think that's huge for our offense.
Hey, this guy runs a 4.6.
That's right.
This guy runs a 4.6. That's what the internet was saying. The entire internet was like, Justin Herbert, surprisingly quick.
Pretty fast.
Pretty crafty athlete. First one in, last one out. Son of a football coach.
Whoa.
You still running 4.6, or is that just combine time? You're not working on that anymore?
You're always working on your speed. Coach Lamondo and Jonathan Brooks at the strength staff here, they've done an incredible job, so we're always working on it.
Hey, you were rolling there. Now, a 300-pounder did catch you,
Yikes.
and then he punched you. But you were rolling there. I mean, just something to think about.
I guess I'm not working on my speed quite enough then.
Hey, listen, don't be kicking balls, and let's not be doing too many explosive things, okay? Let's not blow any hammers. Let's throw the fucking ball. Justin, go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Justin, the hair looks phenomenal. Is there any thought to maybe pivot to a mullet at some point, or are you just going to let it keep going? And then real quick, talking turkey, are you a mashed potatoes guy or what?
For sure a mashed potatoes guy. But
Come on!
No thought on the mullet quite yet. I think that's something that I've kind of think more about and maybe transition to in the offseason.
Oh, maybe playoff run.
Ooh.
No.
What do you say?
Playoff mullet.
Last time you were on, you said, I'm a Nike guy, and you hadn't signed a Nike deal. And I said, whoa, you'll fucking sign with Adidas, right? Let's make sure we have a little leverage. You're like, no, I'm a Nike guy. You're a Nike guy now completely?
Yeah, Nike guy. I've always been loyal to the swoosh and kind of grew up with it, so everything worked out well.
Hey, congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really, really happy for you, man. Go ahead, Frank.
Justin, back to the running that we were talking about with you doing, and especially on Sunday, I noticed you were sliding a lot, and a lot of young guys, when they come into the league, either refuse to slide or don't know how. Is that just like instinctive? Have you ever worked on that? Did you play baseball? Where'd that come from? Because it was, as a Steeler fan, it was frustrating to watch.
Yeah, it's super important not to take hits in the NFL because all those guys on that side of the ball, they're bigger, faster, and stronger than me. And so growing up,
I don't think so. 4'6", 240. Yeah. I think you start maybe,
Run them over.
They're not bigger, stronger, faster than you, but I do like that you are thinking about the team because your availability is better for everybody's life. That's a real thing. Is that something that anybody's had to tell you, or did you know that?
Well, we talked about it last year. The Chiefs game, when I took the hit on the sideline, it took one hit for me to realize never to do that again. And so every opportunity that I get to slide and not avoid a hit, I'm going to slide.
Stuffing, though, is your number one side, obviously, on Thanksgiving over mashed potatoes, probably?
Yeah, I'd put them both at the top. I don't think I could pick one over the other.
Ooh, good man. You a white meat or drumstick guy?
I'm more of a ham guy, to be honest.
Yeah, so you like the drumstick then.
Honey baked.
Because the drumstick is the ham of the turkey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I understand that. Do you have family coming into town? Is it just another work day? What is it?
My brother, actually, my older brother, who goes to medical school at Columbia, so he's going to hang out with me for a week, so it'll be fun with him.
So you come from big brain family too, like big brain family.
He's the smart one. I've had to live up to him.
What do you do other than football, though? Are you a video gamer? No, cards player? Just kind of live your life? What do you do?
I try to play golf as much as I can outside of football. Nice. But other than that, during the season, we don't have too much time off.
Justin, you're like, not just saying this because you came on the show and you've come on the show before and given us incredible time, and we're very thankful. Hey,
Thank you, Justin.
No, but you are like the picture-perfect superstar if I wanted a young quarterback to be. You seem to be incredibly humble, smart. In LA, could be a distraction for everybody. Have you guys experienced that at all on your team? Like new players come in, is that ever addressed, or is it just kind of understood? Like we get to live in great weather. Let's not let all the other stuff fuck it up, or is it you have a good locker room that's just kind of bought in?
I think everyone's been really focused on what we need to do here in the building. And I think that COVID has kind of affected that as well, and kind of being safe and realizing that, you can't do exactly what you wanted to do a couple of years ago. Everything's changed. And for us to keep playing football and to be able to do what we want to do, we have to be safe. We have to be smart. And so I think that aspect of things everyone's been really good at.
You ever talk to Tom Telesco, and does he say, thank God Miami drafted Tua? Does he say that to you? Or how this? You can laugh. Yeah, you can go and pop it down. How are the conversations with Tom Telesco?
Tom is such a smart person. Anytime you get to talk with him, you get to learn so much more about football, about player personnel. And, we believe in him so much, and he's done an incredible job so far.
Well, you and I have it's certainly one thing. I'm 242. It looks a little different. But Tom Telesco brought me into the NFL as well with the Colts. He was the reason I got drafted to the Colts. Obviously, he's incredibly pumped that you were the quarterback for his franchise that he got to bring in. We can't thank you enough for joining us on this beautiful Monday, Herbert, on this beautiful Monday. And have a great week. Have a great Thanksgiving, and good luck this weekend against Denver, brother.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Herbert. Thank you. He's awesome.
Yeah. Very good at football, too.
Unfucking believable at football. They say, and I didn't want to say it to him because I didn't know. He would probably take it as a compliment. They say very Cam Newton-ish. When he walks by, it's like, oh, this guy's a defensive end.
Yeah.
No, these guys are bigger, faster, stronger.
I don't think so.
I don't know for you. I understand there's probably other basic-ass quarterbacks telling you that. But that is not the case for you, sir. You are an absolute stud. Nick, I loved your question because all you were hoping for probably on Sunday is, hey, somebody get a little shot. Somebody get a little shot on this guy, but he's going down. And that's what we've been saying about like Joey B and Carson. And I think Aaron has even said it like, hey, these young quarterbacks, just go down, go down. Him taking one hit and being like, well, I don't like the way that felt. That's incredible evolution. And that's like being a pro, and that's like understanding the game a lot more. I'm incredibly pumped for him. Sorry you guys, lost on Sunday, obviously, Diggs, but you got to be impressed as hell with that.
I fucking love Justin Herbert. Like, I am so jealous of the Chargers that they have him for the next however many years.
Humble.
Yeah, he's perfect.
And that's where that small town where they thought he couldn't handle the glitz and glamour is actually the gift of the gift curse situation, where he is just like, hey, I'm enough. Like I'm just here to work, get better, enjoy my team. And Staley is the coach speak.
Yeah.
So I mean that seems like a great yin and yang there. Let's move on. Thank you, Justin Herbert. Thank you, Justin. Okay, so like there's some news regarding Bakhtiari's knee. I mean, we could definitely. Should we dive into that? That happened during the show. Zito dropped it in my ear there. I think that could be a conversation.
I mean, although when you look around the NFL, especially with Herbert just coming on, like the young quarterbacks in the AFC versus the NFC, there's going to be legitimate dogfights for the next 15 years when you just go down the list. I mean, AFC East, who knows with Tua and Zach Wilson? Who knows? They still got a chance.
By the way, I kind of took one of Tua there. I'd like to apologize to Tua.
A terrible situation for him, but
he has not been given. Listen, this gets said a lot, and it's not always real. He has not been given a fair shake.
No, not at all.
I don't think so. Not down there in Miami. And Gumpy's here, obviously, speaking for the Doll fam. I apologize that it did sound like I took a shot there talking to Herbert.
No.
Hindsight, looking back in it now, I was having a good time, good conversation. Tom Telesco over say, thank God that Miami took Tua. And, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that at all, Gump.
No, it wasn't a slight at him. It was just.
But you're right. There are a lot of young quarterbacks.
Yes, every single division. Josh Allen, Mac, Herbert with Mahomes, Burrow with Lamar. I mean, aside from the Colts division and obviously Trevor Lawrence, like there's a serious case that there are 5 to 6 guys every year now going forward.
Well, I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, stats tell us no way, but there is a chance that with the way the game evolving into the college game, guys are more. Maybe there is a turn of the tide about to happen in football, and that is why I think Amazon and them want to buy in and say, "Hey, it seems like this is only getting better." I don't know if there's enough guys to expand it, though.
There's
no way.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
That this weekend, there's not. You can't have fucking Tim Boyle 12 fucking playing quarterback.
Hey, TB 12 Detroit.
Yeah, come on.
He whoa,
he's all right.
Yeah, he had 10 touchdowns and 40 picks in college.
We buried him a
Even
little.
Jared Goff. I've been watching Jared Goff all season. There's not enough good quarterbacks to expand the NFL.
Okay, well, and I assume they're going to try to get Canada involved at least, or maybe down there in San Antonio, which has become the new Los Angeles. When teams want a new stadium, they say, "Hey, we'll fucking leave."
Yeah.
You don't want to pay your taxes or pay more in taxes to pay for a stadium because the stadium brings a new Super Bowl, which brings billions and billions of dollars to the city over its lifetime. You don't want to pay for that? Cool. We'll go down San Antonio.
Boom. Might be forced to go to St. Louis now, too.
Well, the Battlehawks said that we will show up. The fans said, we will show up. You bring a football team here. And Stan Kroenke's like, how about $100 million? You guys don't get it.
Yeah, easy.
And St. Louis is like, I do not think so, sir. Okay, young quarterbacks. Let's talk about that because there is a mid-range jumper quarterback, too. Mm-hmm. You know, who's ending their first contract to potentially go in to their next contract. And last night or yesterday, I put out a poll on my Twitter account because we were talking about it. If they don't sign Baker Mayfield back to the Cleveland Browns, which might happen, karmic justice could come through and the football gods could kick them right in the ass because although Andrew Berry did not draft Baker Mayfield, which would normally indicate in the world of the NFL that that's not his quarterback, Andrew Berry knows that Cleveland stunk forever.
Yep.
And then, boom, Baker showed up. They stunk. They get a new coach, new GM, new offensive line, new system, new everything. They get good. Baker Mayfield's a quarterback, though, the figurehead of that whole thing. If you get rid of that quarterback after that jersey that was so long and you would potentially add 3, 4, 5 more on without being able to win games for whatever reason. If Chubb and Hunt and that offensive line and the tight ends forget how to play football and they turn into a very bad team post Baker Mayfield, which could happen, by the way. If you were to move on, and they're saying there's not a lot of quarterbacks in the draft, so why would you? That might kind of muddy the waters of the decision making by Andrew Berry. Maybe another veteran quarterback out there.
Who?
Then we thought, well, Jimmy Garoppolo. He's probably going to be a free agent after this year. He has 1 year left with guaranteed money. The 49ers said, we have a plan for Jimmy Garoppolo this year. They move up to get Trey Lance at 3. They sacrifice the future of the franchise with multiple picks to get Trey Lance. He's their guy going forward, although Jimmy G's playing right now. It led to a question, if you're Andrew Berry, who would you rather pay 14% of your salary cap to? There's guys getting paid 15. I think there's somebody getting paid 16 or 17, but I think the average is in there from like 10 to 14. Who are you willing to pay 14% of your salary cap to lead your team into the future? I put it out on Twitter. I just asked the question with I put no narrative into the question.
Nope.
There was no leading, no nothing. I'm just asking. I was attacked by both fans.
Of course.
For even assuming that the other one should be with the other person. But over 95,000 votes were casted before we went live. 51% to 49%.
Wow.
Now, this picture was taken at 89,000 votes. It's up over 96,000 now, I believe. But it has remained at 51-49 since about 10,000 votes. The world is split on this, and I don't know what I expected going in. I did not expect it to be this. Pretty much a perfect fucking poll.
Oh, yeah.
I did not take this photo, by the way. This is, I believe, Foxy. Foxy picked Jimmy Garoppolo.
I picked Jimmy G.
And I left out hey, I'm just voting to see the results because I wanted people to be forced to fucking answer.
Yeah.
Because this is potentially Andrew Berry's thoughts going forward or a team going forward.
I did read your a lot of the replies as well. There was a lot of people wanted a neither option.
Yes, but that's why I put the poll out was,
Gotta
hey,
pick.
there is no neither. You have to make a decision if you're Andrew Berry. And I'm not saying it's just those two. There's obviously other options that you could potentially trade for and do that. But if you had only Baker and Jimmy with the Cleveland Browns roster next year, who and what are you taking? A lot of Browns fans replying, Jimmy plays every other season. What are we even talking about? Baker's playing with a torn labrum. Hour 2, AJ Hawk on the other side of this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. We back? You were going to say something that was...
I was going to say that Jimmy doesn't talk shit on his fan base, though.
Oh, see, that should be a conversation for hour 2 then. I thought you were going to feed into the poll. No, you were saying, well, I mean, we didn't put any narrative on it, but we should. I mean, if we're going to have this conversation where you're going to talk about Jimmy's injury history, we got to talk about the other side of it. And I don't think, by the way, Baker Mayfield's wife said those words that everybody is saying she said, but she did share somebody else's words. Correct. And are shares reflection of her opinions or not? Because on Twitter, you see it. They say, retweets do not necessarily express my opinion or agreement. Or
These are not endorsements.
These are not endorsements or whatever. Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah, completely.
What the fuck? It is. But some people say it isn't somehow.
It's not.
And I might just not understand life like they understand life. And they might have a theory on that being the case. Maybe they just want to showcase that these are things being said as well, which maybe she was doing. Like, hey, we should know that the narrative isn't just get him out of Cleveland. There's also some people that back him. That's why she's sharing it. Is that what's happening?
I think she knows exactly what she's doing. Everyone's fucking dumping on her husband and saying he fucking stinks. And she's saying, hey, this guy's tough. Maybe his teammates, if they were as tough as him, they wouldn't squeak by the lines.
By the way, shout out ride or die wife.
That's right.
Shout out.
But also on the flip side, I don't know how Browns fans are going to feel about it.
That's right.
I don't like it. Okay, I wish Browns fans would have been like, hey, that's awesome of his wife fucking.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Like that's a good relationship out there. Because there was things, that's a good relationship.
That's right.
But they're not saying
they don't give a shit.
That ain't how they're saying it. You know what they're saying? They're saying, get these two the fuck out of Cleveland.
Yeah, we just beat TB12 by 3 points on Sunday.
They had 64 yards of offense.
Brutal.
But the team is injured.
Yeah.
And he is injured as well. It's a wild situation when you start accounting for all of it. They're going to have to make a decision. We'll talk to AJ what his thoughts are here in 4 minutes. I have to run to the bathroom. We'll see you then. You're the best. Cheers. Obviously, that's what this show is all about. We have boots on the ground in Cleveland, who I assume knew this was going to happen all along. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Cleveland, Mr. Jason Glazer. Your thoughts on Kyle Pitts to Atlanta, fine sir? Oh, there's a delay.
Well, first and foremost, Pat, I'd like to say, hey, listen, thanks for having me. Cleveland is beautiful this time of year. Granted, it does smell like a mixture of poop and diarrhea and sewage.
Jesus.
It doesn't smell great down here.
Jason.
But I'll tell you what, 27 years in this thing, I fucking live for the draft. Love being down here. Love being into Cleveland. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, listen. What do you want me to say? I knew this 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I mean, do we need to do this whole fucking song and dance?
Okay.
I'll give you guys 1 through 32 if you want to know. Do you want to have fun?
That's nice.
You want to not know who's going? But yeah, I had this 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm wondering is if the guy you had in your studio, Mad Mel Kiper, I know that sorry son of a bitch didn't have this 2 weeks ago.
Mike's not plugged in.
Whoa. Yes, I did. I actually just explained it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
No,
I
you
did.
didn't. No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did.
No,
I
you
had
didn't. I
this.
did.
Yeah,
I did.
no, you
I
didn't.
did. You
I
didn't.
had this. I
I did.
had
You
it.
didn't.
Trust me. Can
You
I
didn't.
talk for Christ's sake?
Okay, fine, yeah.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
talk? Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, Kyle Pitts,
No, you didn't.
unbelievable talent.
No, you didn't. You didn't fucking
Yes,
have
I
it.
did.
No, you
You
didn't. You're a
Jason.
sad sack of shit,
Jason.
Kiper. I know it. I looked at your mock draft.
Jason, please relax. Oh my God. Had no idea it was going to get like that. Sorry about that, Mad Mel. Obviously, there's a little bit of content there. He's saying you don't know your ass for a fucking hole in the ground, though, Mad Mel. How do you feel about that from Jason Glazer live in Cleveland?
Well, classic move. You know, Glazer looks like he's getting ready to go to a goddamn titty bar or something like that. I mean, dress up, pal. It's the NFL draft. Look at me. I'm dressed to the nines. You know, you look like an asshole. I mean, get him out of here, can we? I mean, is he going to stick around? Can we get him the hell out of here?
I think his microphone's still on. Jay, can you hear us? Jay, is everything good back there?
Listen, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going over to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to hang out with Dee Snider and Twisted Sister.
Are you serious? Okay, Jason, sorry. Thank you so and ladies and gentlemen, Jason Glazer.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To walk into any Howl at the Moon and go, wish you would step from that ledge, my friend.
Jumper.
We could
cut ties with all the lies that we've been living in.
And
if you do not want to see me again, I would understand.
That's what I'm going to do at Howl at the Moon. Just slide on the knees with the guitar.
Howl at the Moon is just pianos usually.
No.
You wouldn't get it.
Hey, dude.
Dude, I'm in the middle of trance.
Hey, dude.
Oh, no.
People are saying you don't have it anymore. People are saying you can't drink.
What is it?
An ice cold Bud Light. What? What do we think? What? Is that? Bring it back. What? Bring it back.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show here on this beautiful Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021. Hour 2 begins right now. Here live at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Just had Justin Herbert on the show last hour. He gave us an incredible conversation.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, big thanks to Justin Herbert.
Thank you, Justin.
1 hour from now, we'll be chatting with Aaron Rodgers and what is going on with the toe.
Come on, Aaron.
I got to know about the toe. I'm going to ask the hard questions.
Have to.
I am not up for any journalistic awards. There's one man that joins us for the last 2 hours of almost every show, unless he has a black tie affair, a gala to attend, a world to change, a cult to appease. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall. AJ, what's going on, dude?
What's up, guys? How you doing? How was Herbert?
Hey, Herbert was awesome. Herbert was incredible. He didn't give anything that, like, you'd be like, oh, I can't. What? You know, nobody's doing that, but he's proving every single conversation that he's like a guy. You know, he's so cool. I would love to be on a team with that guy's quarterback. Seems super chill, you know?
Yeah, Joe Cool, and then we called Montana, especially when he was taking care of that person abducking his granddaughter. But yeah, he does seem to be like he is always in control.
We're going to have to ask FanDuel, but could we get a futures bet on Herbert saving a kidnapping with a football?
Yeah.
Because if that is what they called Montana, Joe Cool, because he's just always cool. Herbert's got the same exact quality. I would like to put a futures on him snagging a football out of a glass case with Super Bowl rings on and throwing a strike at a guy's beak who is, what's that?
Reenact it.
What? Oh, no, I don't got it today. Pinky ring on.
I just still don't know if Joe Montana actually did that.
He did.
Oh, shut up,
He
Fox.
did.
Was he wearing his Super Bowl rings?
Yeah, I think so.
He sleeps in them?
No. He was in a photo shoot that day because he was saving the world.
Yeah, he was watching film at the time, still having him on.
Yeah, he had him on there. But anyways, it would be very difficult to play quarterback with a pinky ring, by the way. And I was thinking about slinging this thing. And not that you look like a kidnapper, but like to emulate the throw or whatever. Pinky ring almost came out as soon as I did that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I did that because, hey, I had a 10-win weekend, I think.
There we go.
I think I had 10 picks right against the spread. Am I? Am I a shark? I'm a shark. People talk. Need to shut it. Getting a lot of tweets about people saying I'm losing the money because the risk-free same-game parlays didn't hit and the Super Boost didn't hit a couple times. But I'm 10-5. You're 9-6. Let's go.
Here we go, boys.
This is what's going to happen going forward. This is who we are now, AJ. The standard is the standard. Week 11 into a Week 18 season. Let's go, dude. Let's go ahead and get this now. Let's win this, AJ.
Hey, how do we get any of these right when every single week it seems like there's 3 or 4 games where should be a blowout one way and the team that usually on paper does not look very good blows them out?
No, AJ, I understand what you're saying about the first 11 weeks of the NFL season, but I am here to declare that now the teams that we know will show up.
Yes.
And the teams that we know stink will stink. This is great for all of us gamblers and those of us who pick against the spread. Here we are.
Here we go.
Here we are.
Here we are. Like the Bears are legit, right? Like they have no issues. They're good.
No.
Oh, come on.
No, it's the opposite.
No, the Bears stink.
Yeah, I saw a video with Zito singing, and I didn't.
Whoa,
know
that wasn't me, dude.
Okay, so it did sound like Zito to me too. I was not told who made it. I was not told who made it. Yeah, so
it's been nice. You find your paradise.
Can everybody sing it but Zito? Can we get one more run back here?
Yeah.
See, this is what they wanted to do to old buddy's voice in Atlanta.
There you go,
That's right.
They wanted to distort the voice, which is exactly what Zito just did because
Who?
You know who.
You know who, dude.
Come on.
FBI.
In Atlanta? What do you mean?
Yeah.
You know who, dude.
Richard Jewell?
Yeah. They tried to distort his voice.
How would anyone know?
When there was a
That's
bomb
where
in
we're going with.
Centennial.
What are you talking
Bro,
That
listen,
was a big
just
story.
because I think at such a high level, and I'm 7. Listen, you can keep up with the conversation, AJ. All right?
I mean, the fact that I heard Atlanta and I realized Richard Jewell because you saw one mini series.
There's a bomb in Centennial Park. That was the words.
So the only thing they had was an audio piece of evidence, right, that linked everything. And they tried to get Richard Jewell, this incredibly diligent, hardworking security guard.
Yes.
They tried to get him pinned to be the guy because he was telling people they weren't doing their jobs right, so he was not liked by the people that were potentially doing the investigation. They thought, oh, this guy's power hungry. The only thing they had was a piece of audio evidence, was call a threat, basically. And they wanted him to record it into something. Then they were going to distort his voice, match it, boom. This idiot buffoon.
We got him.
Yeah.
But instead, Richard Jewell said, I'm not doing that.
No way.
No way. I'm not. And then he ran a sprint around a park, and boom, it all got figured out. Anyways, that is what we could have potentially had for Zito singing that song because I thought it sounded like Zito a lot, but I was told,
No.
I was actually sent, hey, we don't know who made this. And then it was sent in. I was like, that sure sounds like Zito's voice. And Zito texted it to the group.
What?
Zito was like, no, not me, though. It was my friend.
We in the jury?
But yeah, it's hot in the kitchen for Chicago. Not just him, Jason Garrett also after last night's game. Did you watch? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. Yeah, there's been heat on Jason Garrett for a while now, and that Monday night game like they just haven't shown the progress they want. So I don't know what it means if you fire coaches during the season, whether it's a head coach or a coordinator. I don't like that, but I guess we're getting to that time in the season.
Hey, me neither, by the way, because I guess you can get a chance to look at other coaches, but it feels like it turns into one massive who can find the best way to take advantage of the situation. Not immediately. I think there is some moments where it's like, hey, we're in this together. But it would be natural for humans, especially in a super competitive world of either coaching or players, to maybe look out for themselves in a situation. Unless you have a very, very strong person that's coming in to be that interim head coach that's on the staff and everything like that. Like, for instance, Bruce Arians stepped in. When Chuck had to go Bruce Arians is respected by everybody. So that was like a quick thing. But it always feels like whenever you fire a coach in the middle of the season, I guess it's a good indication like, hey, we are not going to stand for this. And it's, especially in the world that we're in right now with social media, the owners hear the fans a lot more. And if they give the perception of contentment with where the team is, I feel like it gets louder and louder. It used to be writers would write bad things, and you would think that people were saying bad shit about your team. But now they actually get to feel it. They get to see it. It's in literally the palm of their hands. So if they give out or present that they're content with what's going on and they don't do action, you potentially lose the fan base. But the fan base will be back if you fucking win. So it doesn't really matter at all. But I think that is why all these things are happening. In week 11 here, I think we are in that point, AJ.
Yeah, if we're this late in the season and you're an owner of a team and you know you're going to fire your head coach when the season is over, which I guess there's probably some owners in that spot right now, right, where they are pretty much like 100%, yeah, we're probably going to move on, then wouldn't it make sense, I guess, to let him go now and get a jump start on trying to find your new guy?
Go ahead, Ton.
I was just looking at their coaching staff. The rumor is potentially that if Nagy gets fired, then Mike Pops Adams will become the interim head coach.
Hey, Pops is up there. I would love to send him a text and be like, how's it going?
Yeah.
First year coaching in the NFL. He was a player, obviously, for a long time, but he was a coach as a player. I wonder what it's like as a coach. Now that all this shit's happened, I guess Nagy is talking to the media right now.
They asked him.
What'd he say?
I have a clip if you want it.
Oh, they're chanting it at my kid's high school football game.
I don't love it.
Can they maybe?
That would suck, man. That'd be bad.
That's life of a head coach in the NFL.
Sucks for the kids. The dad, it would suck as the dad being like, oh, man, my kid has to deal with this because of what I do.
Yeah, here's a 16-second clip that Zito chose to run. Okay, so that's like such a good journalistic way to ask a question. We heard who? Yeah. You know who? We heard that you might be fired on Friday, basically, but we can put this and soup this up in a broadcast manner that you have to give us an actual answer and you can't give us a no comment. We have to figure out how to do that about the fucking toe with Aaron about an hour. So let's brainstorm. Let's brainstorm ideas.
I mean, we need to because I don't know. I don't see us gain any ground on that.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's you. You probably asked him if we're going to gain any ground. He said no. That's why we have to do shit like this.
No, I don't. He doesn't want to know any. Like I've never said anything like, "I'll ask you this." He absolutely does not ever want to be like tipped to what we may ask.
By the way, I like that. I appreciate that. I always hated when people would be like, "I'll send you the questions I'm going to ask you over." I'm like, "Don't."
I hate that too.
Why? What do we even?
I don't like to see him. Like if I'm going, like I did Ariel's show today. Ariel's great. But he didn't send me a list of questions. Hey, this is the topics we're going to get to. Like I don't like to have to think about it beforehand.
Yeah, me neither. But you know what Ariel's asking you. He's asking you every question the internet wants to ask you. Yep. I mean, but he has the actual. He does. I mean, he is. He's good. Ariel is. He is like an actual. See, there it is. Ariel's like a journalist. Like I feel like when he does his interview, it's like a journalist type thing or whatever. And I enjoy the hell out of him. I got to do his show. I wonder if he'll just paint you a color whenever he puts it up on YouTube.
We talked about it.
Maybe.
We talked about it.
I bet you did.
He may have blamed your side.
Well,
that's bullshit.
That's what Ariel does. That's what journalism has become. So it's a shame that that is what he is.
I said this is great. It's like we have two sides, and each side has a completely different story about how this happened.
There is only one story. There is no two sides of this thing.
We have the video.
I think he may
on
say
this
the
side.
same thing. So this is great.
Yeah, we actually have it recorded as well. We weren't even asked for our video.
We could have sent some music.
That is professionally made. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just glad I'm not in the middle
As
of it.
opposed to that throw together situation.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm going to make you 50 to 60 shades darker red.
Yeah, not that you're not already red enough and not already, alarmingly colored in the face. Let's go ahead and add a full-blown Crayola crayon onto you. But the conversation was great. That's why I was like, what the fuck, Ariel? Like, nobody's going to hear a word I said in there. And I actually, because he asked actual questions to me, as opposed to like most people ask me questions. Aaron's...
what's your favorite strain of dope?
Which, by the way, that's also a good conversation if anybody wants to get into that. There are some that are really...
Have you ever been on wouldn't you be on you should be on the cover of High Times, the magazine.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
I would imagine that would
publicist
sell a lot of copies.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. We don't have a publicist.
What?
Yeah, no publicist. No,
you don't need one.
No, yeah, I mean, here we are. Yeah,
I thought Bruce was.
Who?
Bruce.
Bruce is not a publicist. No, by the way, Bruce is not. Bruce is not. No. Bruce is not a. By the way, you're implying that Bruce is glad handing with all these insufferable people to make situations happen for other people. Bruce would never do that. I don't think.
Really? Are you sure? He's from Connecticut.
Could you imagine having to deal with? Oh,
With who?
Just that whole. No.
That whole world,
like publicist.
Oh yeah, but the amount of like favors, like like the amount of
you take
a lot of ass kissing,
trading guests, and you're going to give for each show or something.
Yeah, and there's so much money on the line for everybody, so it's all probably a game, I'd assume. And I do not have the trait of the ability to be able to handle it. So congrats to those who
Good
can.
work.
You gotta do.
Well, do you think Kevin Hart reached out to his people reached out to ESPN as a way to promote his new show?
I think whenever you get to a Kevin Hart level, I think that you're getting pitched. He's Kevin Hart. That's like I think maybe.
Yeah, but he has multiple things though. Like he has a show coming out, so they're like plan on how they're going to promote it. That's why he was on the field doing stuff at the Philly game. That's why we see him all over.
Yeah, I get it. I understand that, but I think at like Kevin's level, they can make any ask or whatever. Hey, you want to do something around this? And everybody's like, yes, 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 yes. It's all the other stuff, like not all the other, but there is a large group of people that are in the game over there, hiring publicists and agents and managers and everything. And it's like all these people are just running your life, I guess,
and you're just wasting money on. Have you ever been around guys that played football with you that you found out had a publicist and you thought, is that you can't be serious, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was very flustered. I've
been at the Derby a few times and a couple of different people were with. Like you're supposed to walk like this red carpet deal, and I would just walk behind it and let the guys go on the red carpet. And I just go around, and I was talking to a player one time, and he's like,
I take my own photos.
Yeah,
I take my own photos.
Right.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I had to interrupt there.
Oh no, you're good. But I go around. I remember one year I was there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, man. Excuse me. I was sneaking back around, and he's waiting to take his turn and the step and repeat whole garbage. He's like, man, I'd like to, man. My publicist is here, though. My publicist is making me go through all this. And I was like, no, they're not. They work for you, bud.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
You can just walk around like me, by the way, and you'll tell the story, and it'll be much better than any fucking photo that's about to get taken right up there. I've been at a couple events where there was a red carpet. I was wildly, surprised about what it is. Okay. I didn't know that these people were standing next to like pub walls with literally a 6-foot red carpet with a pop-up behind them and some good lighting with a rail of people on the other side taking photos. I did not know it was this fugazi of a fucking bullshit. Jesus. What is this thing? But then there's obviously the big ones where, it's like for a real thing.
For the galas.
Yeah. No, for the award show. Yeah, like for the award
movie premiere.
I don't think I don't go to a lot of these events that AJ goes to. I don't think I've ever been to a red carpet where I was like, oh, that was worth it. Like the time that they spent into setting this up, that was worth it.
ESPYs?
I was actually working the red carpet.
Oh.
Yeah, it was terrible. Worst night of my life.
NFL honors?
Oh, you had to stand there and get interviews?
What? Get burnt. I ended up Ariel red. Okay, in real life.
Outdoors?
What? It was at the fucking
Yeah,
crypto.com.
Cali.
It was at the crypto.com center.
Come on.
It was so hot. I was working for NFL Network. They were like, and then I go inside. I was there for an hour. Okay, I was supposed to be there for 3 hours. I'm like, I think I'm going to miss a couple of those. Traffic, the city be. So I was there for like the last hour in a suit, sweating my ass off. Okay? Got 2 or 3 interviews. LaShawn McCoy stopped by. Thank you, LaShawn. They're like, oh, you gotta call for him. I'm not calling for these people. There is zero chance.
There
was 0 chance of that happening. So I got a couple in there. I think it probably created a good little piece of content. I was lucky to do it, experience it. And then I represented the Indianapolis Colts at the ESPYs. I was the only one there. The Colts were up for comeback of the year, game of the year, I think, against the Chiefs.
Playoffs?
In the playoffs. And they actually had a camera shooting me whenever it happened.
Here we go.
Just you?
Yeah, I was the only one in the building. I was like, did we win? Am I giving a speech? There's no way. And then it was a hockey team, I think, or something like that. I was like, oh, congratulations.
Good
but they
call.
didn't show me on camera. They didn't show me on camera. It was only in the theater a camera came over. I was like, that is...
Gotcha.
That is not. That was the same one where Drake was hosting. It was fucking awesome. It was a good time. And Sterling had just got done being recorded saying terrible things.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And Drake did a whole song about Sterling never loved us. There was that whole thing. And I was potentially the only Caucasian in a rather pretty big area.
Sure. Okay.
I let him know Sterling didn't like me either, man. Hey, he didn't like me either because as soon as they go to commercial break, the whole theater just gets dead quiet and the lights come on. It's like,
yikes.
Holy
Very awkward. How about you like having the seat fillers? Like if you get up and take a leak, they have some girl or guy instantly come sit in your seat.
Sprint in, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, oh, all of this is bullshit. What is?
The first time that happened to me, I came down. I was like, who stole my seat? Why is this dude sitting next to my wife? What are we doing here? And then seat filler. My bad.
Oh yeah, wait till the next commercial. We'll get you back to your wife. Okay, that man is you right now. This is what's going on. Those are insane. You go to all those events though. I don't know how you do it.
I went to the ESPYs a couple years. One year I went to the ESPYs. I think Tim Blake was hosting. I was deathly sick, just dripping sweat in my seat. It was awful.
Yeah. I've never had a good experience at any of those. I've never won any awards either though.
That's bullshit.
Nah,
Heisman Radio.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
you do have that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was.
And that hashtag award.
Oh yeah, no, they mailed it.
That's right. Yeah.
Literally.
Cool though.
What about that Nickelodeon thing behind you? You won something there.
Global Guts? Yeah, you earned that. It's not a fucking award show, dude.
I have no clue what that show is still.
That is embarrassing to be our age, roughly.
What is the show called?
Global Guts.
Okay, yeah, I've never heard of it.
Guts and Global Guts. Mike O'Malley.
We know AJ.
Do you have it? You don't. You don't.
We found out yesterday AJ was tending to his piranhas, so he had a pretty busy childhood.
We might have some large news coming out of the NFL, which is a perfect transition right now. Unless there was a McCockner situation or another Bleacher Report situation, there is some news coming out. Ari Mirov of Pro Football Focus is reporting the Giants are firing offensive coordinator Jason Garrett per Patrick Leonard of the New York Daily News.
Wow.
Okay.
So, Jason Garrett, take your clapping out of town. We don't want it around here no more. Last night, Saquon Barkley failed to rush for even 40 yards, which alternate rush yard bets and parlays were ruined all over the place because who thinks Saquon Barkley won't fall for 40 yards? Whatever the case, they stink. The Giants have stunk for a long time. When Jason Garrett was hired, they stunk. He's getting fired, they stink. I don't think this is all Jason Garrett's fault, obviously. He might be relieved in his first time calling plays again in 9 years or 10 years, whatever it was. It has not gone great. Who knows where he ends up next? And is this just for the fans, you think, AJ?
I don't know. I mean, if you're the head coach, you got to do something, don't you? It's either, okay, I'm not going to quit. If I'm the head coach, so I got to figure out what I can do to spark this team. And if we feel like offensive play calling is not up to par, then is there new play caller on staff, or after the season, they're going to have to go out and find somebody?
Well, because you can test somebody right now. Go ahead, Diggs.
If Giants-Bucks was a Sunday at 1 o'clock game, does he get fired today?
No.
Probably not.
Oh, yes. Zito just came into my ear with a beauty. We know who's calling plays.
Ooh.
4th and 13.
Yes.
He's back.
Yes.
Freddie Kitchens is
Rock's
back.
Holy shit.
Freddie Kitchen is saddling the horse of calling plays again as we speak in the barn. Okay.
Wow.
Freddie Kitchens woke up this morning, put his cowboy boots on, his sweats over top of them, said to his family, today's going to be a good day for us. Goes into work. Watch the film. Last night stunk. Freddie Kitchens, though, knows that they can be better. The internet's abuzz. Jason Garrett's out. And as soon as the news goes that Jason Garrett, the Giants, fired their offensive coordinator on Tuesday, according to a source, pulling the plug 26 games in on a longtime former Dallas Cowboys head coach, Freddie Kitchens, saddling the play-calling horse once again. Joe Judge's senior offensive assistant is expected to take over play-calling duties with Garrett gone, starting with Sunday's visit from the Philadelphia Eagles, who are hot with Sirianni.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Sirianni and Freddie Kitchens are going to battle it out this weekend.
Oh, my God.
AJ, this is big news. A division rival that has won their last 3 or 4. Go ahead,
Freddie may be able to find a way to hold on to this gig because I didn't know he was the senior offensive assistant. He doesn't even he's not a position coach. So that's like a lot of times guys like that, they're tight with the head coach, and the head coach wants them on staff, so they don't create a position. But there's a lot of there's a lot of great coaches I know with positions like that around the league.
Well, normally they put them in like a consultant role, right? When they're fired but still being paid from somewhere else, they put them in like a consultant role so they don't have to pay them anything. And, it's kind of like a give and take. Let me rehab my image a little bit, work on stuff, stay in football while still cashing a check from somewhere else. That's a classic fired coach's move. Did Freddie have any money left when he was fired from Cleveland on the deal?
I assume so, yeah.
He was the tight ends coach.
Yeah, I was going to say.
In New York.
In New York, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
With Rudolph and Ingram.
Hey, Freddie Kitchens is beloved by his players.
What if they light it up? What if Daniel Jones
They
looks
won't.
like we've never seen him before?
What's that?
What?
Dude, they won't.
come on.
Whoa.
The Giants fucking stink. We've seen Freddie Kitchens song and dance before. He stinks too. I did want to ask though. We talked about it earlier in the year, and there's already reports coming out of the Giants locker room that all these guys are fed up. And Garrett's an easy fall guy, but like, at what point, like Joe Judge, the whole like doing push-ups, the tough guy, being super disciplined. Like, do you have to go back to the like? Guys aren't going to want to go there. And do
you got to
that
win.
if you stink.
And we talked about a great point, Ty. I mean, you buried a couple people there pretty quickly. I mean, geez Louise. The opinion.
Is Joe Judge safe though?
That's what I'm saying.
No. So we talked about this immediately upon the push-ups and the running and the charades and the antics and everything like that. You got to win. You got to win. If you start to lose when you're doing all, if you win, everybody be like, okay, we're doing all the bullshit because it pays off. We're doing all this childish junior high school bullshit so that, we win, we make more money, we get more spotlight, life is a lot better. Whatever your reasoning is to win, we'll buy in. You don't win, though. And they talked about, I think, the first night when Fowler and Herbstreit were calling it. So it might have been the first Monday Night Football game, and it was against the Steelers, I
Last
think.
year.
Joe Judge era was beginning. And if you listen to Fowler and Herbie talk to Saquon and Daniel Dimes, we needed a culture change. We needed it. We wanted it. It was a compliment to the players because the players were buying into this new shit that wasn't necessarily what a lot of grown men would be in with because they need it. You lose, though, AJ. Nobody's buying in anymore. Hey, do push-ups. Hey, fuck off. And that we were impressed that nobody did that, right? Remember when that happened? We were very impressed that there wasn't a single person on that team that said, nah, everybody was doing it. I don't think that is something you can withstand, and Joe Judge has to know that.
He definitely has to know that, I feel like. And I mean, at this point, I don't know. Is this his second or third year there?
Second.
Only 2 years, yeah. I mean, if I'm an owner or a GM, I would hope I would give my head coach a few more years to at least figure it out. If you do like what's going on, if you're there day to day and you think he's going in the right direction.
Who's the owner? Mara? Remember Mara when he's hanging out at those events with you and other billionaires and all that shit? He's like, I'm tired of telling people why we stink.
Yes.
And we're hanging out at these yachts and thoughts parties, and I'm being asked the entire time, why's your team stink? Why's your team stink? Why's your team stink?
Sure, Mara said that. Yeah.
He did.
He did.
Does,
The
dude.
yachts and thoughts.
Oh, yeah, deep thoughts. What are you talking about?
That same thing. I thought he was deep thinker.
Oh, no, you were talking about that. No,
talking about
you-
your
Yeah.
age.
You're taking out
son of a
the
bitch.
thoughts, huh? Is that that's interesting. Is that what you were talking about those hoes
Sure,
over there?
sure.
You were talking about those hoes over there?
What parties are you going
Oh,
to?
yachts and thoughts.
Interesting.
Jesus.
I go to a lot of parties with Mara. Which one is this? Which Mara is it?
Mara, dude.
John.
The owner.
John, dude.
Yeah.
The old one.
Rooney's dad.
Uncle.
Really? Mm-hmm. I didn't know the Rooney family was tied to the Mara family.
Oh, yeah.
Rooney
The one
Mara.
actress girl is related to him too.
Kate?
The redhead from your favorite show with Spacey.
Kate Mara, and that's
what
not
he's
the
talking
favorite show, dude.
Tony's talking about.
It was a good show for a long time. I can't watch it anymore.
Oh, did Digson mention it?
Yeah, Rooney Mara and Kate Mara. Their grandparents are the Maras and the Rooneys.
Oh, so they all do marry within.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's make sure we keep all this money to ourselves.
That's why the Maras are getting tired of getting clowned on when they go to
The family
gathering.
gatherings. Yeah, we're keeping the money within all the rich people, but also, what about my life? It stinks. Our team stinks.
What about Danny Dimes? If they're almost done with Judge, are they almost done with
The
Dimes?
Giants are 18-40 under Dave Gettleman.
That's what I say. Gettleman's the next to go. I think.
Hey, attaboy, Dave.
Hey, nice work.
Hey, keep swinging the bat.
But the new GM's going
It's
to
not easy being a GM. Oh, the pressure, especially
man.
being in New York. You get them in.
tough.
How come some people stink and some people don't, though? Will they ever dive into that? Why? You know,
Kind of life, isn't it?
that's everything and that's why, we go live 3.5, yesterday 4 hours every day. We'll never get to the bottom of it.
Nope.
We never, ever will get to the bottom of it, AJ.
There'll always be space for us then, right? To talk about it.
Oh, why does this happen? Anytime you need a little time or don't know what to talk about, Let's just start about why do some GMs end up 18-41 and some just slide right in and win a fucking Super Bowl immediately? Why is it?
John Mara's just bitching about it. Is he a big dumb dipshit? You live in New York, not Toledo, Ohio. The guy's 18-40. Shit can his ass. It's supposed to, I mean, the Giants are supposed to be good. The NFL's better when the Giants are a good team. They fucking sucked for 10 years now.
It was awesome listening to Parcells and Eli last night talk about the glory days, the LT back there. You're right. It is giant. It's giant for the NFL.
It's an institution. It's such a historic franchise for the NFL. Ty is right. Like, it's good for the NFL when the Giants are good. And I thought the uniforms they were wearing last night too reminded me of the old school like Giants when they were dominating.
We talked about that in the first hour. They looked great.
Incredible.
I mean, that was a great costume for Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah, white on white. That's a great job too.
What's that?
The Giants head coach. Yes, a lot of pressure, a lot of scrutiny being there, but if you can win for the Giants or the Jets, that's just a great spot to be.
Well, for all the alum, all the connections, I mean, they are plugged in everywhere. The Giants are plugged in everywhere in every business because of how long and how great they've been in the biggest market in the world. I mean, it is. You're right.
Their fans, though, although the fans will definitely give them a hard time, but they are diehard.
Doesn't every fan base? And I don't want to knock the bigness of the big city because I was in there this past weekend, and when you're flying in there, you forget how fucking long that line of buildings that are bigger than any city you are in buildings, just all the way fucking down. And then, by the way, that thing goes way back as well. It is massive. I get it. Okay, I very much get it. But doesn't every head coach or GM that stink? I mean, they're fire Nagy's happening at their kids' high school football game. Chicago, third largest city in America. But it's quite a difference from New York to Chicago whenever you're talking size-wise. New York is so fucking big. It is absurd. But isn't it always like going to be in your face? Isn't every GM job going to be tough? I get that New York, and maybe this is back when there wasn't as much social media and connection. And I think I asked Sanchez this, and Sanchez talks about just like, and maybe you can hit on this a little bit more. In our locker room, there wasn't 100 media people in there every single day in our locker room whenever it was an open locker room session. It was normally like 20 or so people floating around. I guess in New York it is 100 people every single day in your locker room, but you can leave the locker room. Like you have to speak for 10 to 15 minutes, but you can leave the locker room. You're with your phone all day. And there's people coming at you all day, right? Isn't that? And how much are you guys going out to these events and facing it? I just feel like that criticism is a little bit more overblown than I might be wrong though.
Just louder. I think it's louder in New York. Maybe it's like the classic like New York bravado, like brash, like that people like in your face. I think they just may hear it a little bit more, I guess. If you go out, you're around 1 billion people always if you're in the city.
Like Philly has to be miserable.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Philly's nowhere near as large as New York. I guess it's in the area though. So like there's those fans. Pittsburgh, I mean, granted, they're calling for Tomlin. He's never had a losing season. Could you imagine if Colbert or Tomlin were 8 and whatever in Pittsburgh? The people would be fucking storming UPMC training facility.
To your point, I don't think you're right. No matter where you're a GM, no matter where you're a coach, you're gonna hear it if you're bad. But I feel like those cities like Pittsburgh, Philly, New York, like those type of cities, like here in Indy, Chicago. If you're doing bad and you're walking down the street, no one's going to come up and tell you that. Like in those cities, someone's going to be like, you fucking stink.
And there's a lot more people in that city.
Yeah.
But don't everybody lives in New Jersey. I don't want to continue to harp on this, but I think
Indiana nice.
Indiana's very nice, and I don't know how
just
much.
Magnified. I think it's just magnified.
Yeah, but dude, if you get 50 scrolls of people
that's
telling
different.
you,
I know, but how many people are doing that?
I think you're right. You think Nagy's not on? These guys aren't on.
I can't imagine Nagy would be.
Or
if you were a
Judge.
coach, that would be stupid.
But also, like,
what if you just want to live though? What if you got some good fucking jokes you want to let fly?
That's true.
Burner, probably don't be a head coach in the NFL then.
Yeah, well, you're right. I guess because your time is.
If you are, only do it when you're winning.
Which I think should be everybody, by the way, in the NFL.
Everybody should be winning?
No, you should be chilling if you're not winning.
Oh, yeah. It's great gig, awesome gig. There's only 32 of them, but man, I can imagine day to day, it's a roller coaster.
You got to sacrifice a lot. The GM position as well, but it's going to get hot, in the kitchen in a lot of these places. And I guess Jason Garrett's the first domino to fall. in this wild 2021 NFL season coaching his situation.
It's not like these guys don't understand that, though.
Yes,
you know, like
everybody knows.
Yeah, he knows exactly. I mean, and in New York, like, they're terrible, and they've been terrible. And it's just like at a certain point, you know, and you're getting paid a lot of money to
All right,
do it.
so here's another thing, I guess, with the big city, and I literally just thought of this. When Joe Judge did the push-up thing, the amount of coverage it got because of the amount of people that are in the local news there is gigantic.
Yeah, blew it up.
So the things that are just would be potentially local news, maybe not a massive story, all of a sudden are a massive story all the time. Okay, I could see how that would suck.
Well, don't they?
Yeah, because there's some things that slip through the cracks with just the local
sure.
news. For instance, X Factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, X Factor and things like there's like local news that slips by. I guess in New York, nothing slips by. So every single thing you do is a national story. Okay, so maybe it took me a little bit to figure it out. I apologize there in New York, I guess.
And they have to, before all of the streaming shows and a million options, like with Mad Dog and Francesa, you had some like super high profile guys talking about New York sports every day.
Yeah, being on radio in New York is still a massive. Like,
weren't they syndicated all over the country too?
They weren't in Pittsburgh, I don't think, but they were big. But I know there's a lot of people that just make very, very, very successful careers off of being New York radio hosts because of how many people are fucking in the area. I get it. Okay, but just don't make fucking stupid decisions. Like, how come that doesn't happen? How come
they're trying? I promise you, they're trying hard. I'm sure they're working hard, but they just can't figure it out.
Be better than the other team. If the Giants are better than the Jets, then you don't take it on the shins as much.
Hey, just real quick, though, there's another question. Why are some teams just – and it's because some places are cursed. I don't know what the Giants did. I know what the Lions did, and we get a chance to watch them maybe win on Thanksgiving this year.
Well, you just can't let it happen in a place like New York either when, like, the city kind of sells itself. Like, guys want to go play in New York. Like, if your team is decent, like, guys want to go play there. If you fucking suck, they don't. But, like, the city is a big recruiting pitch and kind of sells itself.
It's cold, though, isn't it?
True.
AJ? It's cold. It gets cold up here.
Yeah, it can get pretty chilly.
When they sucked last year, and Kenny Galladay still went to New York, so
better to
They got paid a lot of money.
They're lucky the Jets suck worse, or else it'd be even louder.
The Jets do suck. Rex Ryan met with Saleh, by the way. They're back on good graces.
Oh, Dave?
What'd they talk about?
Not today. I don't know if he met with Dave and Bob, but I know he met with Bob.
Okay.
He said they learned. He said he learned about him more, and it was a good conversation and productive conversation. Thinks they got the right guy.
That's how it should be. That's great. They had a beef publicly, and then they talked privately, right?
And then they moved on, which is, by the way, the world should do that.
Yeah, Rex probably saw how fucking stacked Saleh is because he is not no small spring chicken. He's a big boy.
He's yoked up.
Yoked up.
Yeah, Dave is as well. Dave's ready to go.
Yeah, did he talk to his brother?
I don't know. Was Dave there? Maybe Dave brokered the deal.
Oh.
Let's get to the phone, shall we, on this beautiful Aaron Rodgers Tuesday? Then we'll take a break, and then we'll end up talking. Whoa.
Here we go.
Before we get to the calls. And I apologize for the calls. That happens.
We'll probably get those after Aaron. But yeah, what's up?
No, we got time.
Okay, yeah, or until you get to 50. We got a break. Oh, man.
Well, depending upon how your answer is here, you know.
We'll see. I'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, maybe good answer. Maybe we don't get to the calls. Maybe bad answer. Nah, we got nothing but time. AJ.
Probably bad answer because it's gonna. I can't wait to hear what's coming. What's up?
What happened to Bakhtiari, dude? Was this during the surgery, post-surgery, rehab?
What happened? What's the news now?
So okay, all right. We know you're friends with Takatari. Okay, we understand that you.
I am. He doesn't give me injury updates.
Well, yeah, and that's a good thing about being, us. We find out things about our friends and our football team that we were potentially on by insiders who know other people that will ask those questions. Tom Pelissero, the Arrow, is reporting that Bakhtiari had a scope surgery recently to clean up the knee that was reconstructed back in January. Sources tell he and Garoppolo Bakhtiari won't practice or play this week, but there's optimism he'll be back for the stretch run. What does the stretch run mean? Is that playoffs only? Is that 7 weeks from now? Is that the weeks 15 through week 18? Because then that's only 4 weeks from now. Is it, you have no idea what the wording, but the scope means they had to just go in and take something out. Depending upon the severity of the scope, there is very different rehabs depending upon the severity. Have you heard anything, and what do you think happened?
I was unaware that he even had a scope, but I don't know. So the stretch run, yeah, I mean, I would assume that. I don't know, maybe a month out. I don't know. What do you think? What is it? A normal scope? If you're say it's cartilage and it's the scope, which I don't know if it would be in this situation, or maybe you had floating bone spurs or something you take out. in there. I don't know. As long as it didn't repair cartilage, that's what takes a long, long time to come back.
And you can do that via scope surgery because
They can sew it up instead of to cut it out.
Yeah, and I think people, you hear arthroscopic and it's not as serious as the other one, but they can do some real shit in a very not so intrusive. And on the outside, there's only 3 holes or 2 holes, depending upon what they use. And they have things now that go in there that are so small that have 4K cameras on the end of it too, so you can watch the entire surgery back. That has really advanced. But people always talk about the scope nowhere near as this is a big one. That can still be a 4-week, 3-4-week, 5-week thing to get any strength back on that thing.
Yeah, I wonder what it was, what was continuing to bother him, and when they made the decision to actually do the scope.
Yeah, because it had to be something very real to go back in. Like
Whatever it was, he wasn't feeling right, and he's not, I guess, doing what didn't feel like he thought it should. So then they probably MRI it and say, okay, well, maybe this will help you.
And maybe it was a meniscus, but a meniscus is a pain thing. But maybe they could say, hey, we could go in here and make your life much better when it comes to pain.
I don't know. You didn't, unfortunately, yeah. And especially with Jenkins going down last week, too.
Go ahead, Ty. You were about to say something.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was this morning or something, but I also saw that it might have been Bob Domofsky tweeted that there's also optimism that he will play after the bye. So I don't know what.
So, yeah, you can, after a scope, you can come back in 3 weeks.
Right.
That is something that can happen. So if they said in recent weeks, was that last week? And he was trying to practice to see where he was at. Was it 2 weeks ago? We don't know where we are from the scope either because we haven't really heard much, which, by the way, leads back to New York. This would be a much larger story weeks ago that he got a scope, I think, than as opposed to the Green Bay market. Not that Bob isn't a good journalist, but that thing would be covered so heavily everywhere that more people would be looking into it. I guess that is the big difference.
And they're not going to rush him back, but do you think they can't rush him back. Obviously, they have a lot invested in him, but with Elton Jenkins going down, do you think he maybe thinks okay, maybe I come back a week sooner than I was anticipating? I don't know. I feel like after the bye, that's it'll be week 14 through the end of the season. Is that the stretch run? That's the most important part of the schedule.
No, playoffs is that the
for
stretch
sure.
run?
But
what is the stretch
They
run?
won't rush them. They won't. Green Bay is one of the most conservative places ever when it comes to taking care of players. They would err on the side of caution and not put you in there because I tell you all the time, Doc McKenzie, all the trainers, they actually care about the player. They're not trying to push anybody back on the field. So I'm sure he won't play until he's actually ready. He's not going to do anything. They can't push him to do anything.
I'm excited to see when it is, and we'll ask Aaron about it.
Oh, yeah, have to.
Hey, what's up with the toe and Bakhtiar's knee? Answer the first one, though, please.
Now.
Are you going to ask any real journalism questions to him this week? You've been back-to-back weeks.
What do we even have to talk about now with him?
What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe we cancel it.
Maybe. The COVID situation's come and gone, right?
Yeah. Amari Cooper.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I've been getting a lot of ats because of Amari Cooper because Aaron's probably been getting a lot of ats because of Amari Cooper. He tested positive, not vaccinated, might miss 2 games.
Yikes.
Yeah, that is.
Michael Irvin's not too happy. I know that.
Well, Jerry Jones isn't either.
Yeah.
He said, you check the me at the door in football. That's what you do.
That's right.
That's what you do. And it's going to get a lot as the season continues because Thanksgiving, the NFL might up the protocols, but the boys like spending time with their families in Turkey.
That's right.
And I'll be excited to see how it pans out. Let's go to the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Before we get to a break, AJ, your answer was good. Not great, but good. So
you broke news to me. I didn't know that.
See, that's why it wasn't a great answer because you did know that. Then we had to show it to you.
Yeah.
Then you had to give your.
Act like it.
Oh,
wow.
No, seriously, I didn't. I absolutely did not know that. But I do send texts to try to get some answers from him. But yeah, he throws me off the scent.
Oh, did you just send one?
No, not today. But I have. Over the
that would have been journalism award.
Yeah.
That would have been journalism award. I don't have it. I'll send him a DM, I guess. I don't have his number. I'll say, sup, dude. AJ sending you a text. Need you to answer it. The world needs to know what the hell's going on. What type of scope was this? Because I had a dislocated patella, which is a super academia way to say a dislocated kneecap. It was floating on the side. And they did a scope where they moved my kneecap back into the ridge and then built up the ridge part on the one side that got blown off, and then they scooped out the side of it. It was like this big of a little rock that was floating around in my knee. They got that out of there. It was all on camera. I got to watch it, but that rehab was a fucking pain in the ass. That That was a no fun rehab for that thing. That was not fun, and it was much different than I've had some teammates get a scope, and in 2 weeks they're playing again. I'm like, how? What type of scope are you getting? And
just depends what they're doing there.
Yeah, it's a lot. Shout out to Science, by the way.
Shout out Science. Shout out. You talking about Fouch or who?
No.
Come on, dude.
No, well, I think Fouch thought that when people
He
said
said
that
he's
he
science,
was.
didn't he?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he potentially bought into the fact that maybe he was all of science and medicine there for a bit because he was kind of being treated that way. And then the world said, not so fast.
Tough week for him.
The vets aren't necessarily thinking that. So,
He just has to sit in a room in the dark alone by himself and eat turkey and mashed potatoes and stuffing by himself because he's not allowed to do Thanksgiving. Because you got to practice what you preach.
He said no Thanksgiving?
He said no Christmas. So
No, he said maybe no Christmas. But
I mean, this is
I haven't heard anything from him in a while.
my friend.
Wait, is he back?
Nah, he's gone, dude.
Yeah, I haven't heard from Fouch in a long time.
Yeah.
We thought that first pitch might take him out because we're sports stooges. He survived a long time after that.
He kept going.
People were taking him serious for a long time after that terrible first pitch. Every time I heard him speak, I just couldn't help. This guy can't toss a ball fucking anywhere near where he wants it to. But that's because he's focused on science, and then he has really taken a hit.
Should we be the new voices of
Science?
Yeah.
No, that would never be the show. Let's go to maybe you though. Hammer
Yeah,
down,
Tom,
hammer
there you go.
down.
There we go.
Hammer down. A gambling show, daily gambling show, live 15 minutes after the show ends, and also the voices of science.
I'd like to start by saying that Christmas is on.
Well, hammer down. Early announcement.
Wow.
The voices of science.
Christmas is a go, my friends.
Merry Christmas. Let's go to Evan in Idaho. What's going on, Evan?
Hey, Pat. I just want to know kind of about like how punter turnover works in the NFL. Like, I'm a big Steelers fan. I like the guy Presley Harvin, but it seems like they got rid of Jordan Berry. Before that, they tried to do the whole Dustin Colquitt thing. Like, how does that work in the NFL? How long do you get?
Great question, Evan.
Depends how good you are.
Dustin Colquitt down in Atlanta bombing balls right now. He seems to have found whatever he has lost. Jordan Berry, the biggest leg I've ever seen live, ever in my life. Warm up, hit a ball. I said, holy shit, I've never been able to do that. That is amazing. But then his hit rate was like 2 of 5. He would hit 2 big ones and then he'd miss 3. And in Pittsburgh, it doesn't help. And I think he's gotten much hotter since going to the Vikings. So I'm very happy to continue to watch that because the Dome will help limit the drop problems, which is the most consistency thing. Jordan Berry's awesome. I'm happy he's getting another shot. Presley Harvin's going to have to deal with the same thing, though. Like, kicking in Pittsburgh is not easy. Kicking in the AFC North is not easy. Very, very windy. So you have to figure out the most repeatable, consistent, easy stroke. And I think Presley Harvin is athletic enough to do so. If you stink, though, you don't get a long time. If you make it past like 3-4 years in the NFL, normally you're good for about 10 if you want. If you don't, though, you're just on a carousel getting kind of passed around hoping you get hot at the right place. Same with kickers, AJ.
Absolutely. And teams don't appreciate what they have in good punters and kickers until you're gone, and they don't have that person.
Fans. I think fans.
Yeah, happy to hear those guys.
I know. I took
figure
it for
out.
granted.
Did you really?
Like punting, and when we had they had a little battle back and forth to figure out our punting situation.
This guy, AJ. Tim Mastay did an incredible job with you guys.
Tim, I'm saying when we got Tim, we were like, I was like, geez, I'm so thankful for Tim.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying, because we did have a little stretch where they were trying to figure it out.
Tim Mastay, same year as me. Much different guy than me, but I got along with him very, very well. And I was drafted in the 7th round, pick 222, because Bill Polian wanted me to be the punter for the team, and Tom Telesco. The special teams coach wanted Tim Mastay to be the punter for the team. He was brought in as a undrafted free agent, and we competed. We kicked every single day against each other. I was just learning how to punt. Tim Mastay was a very good punter. Those were some scary days. I thought I was going to lose, but I thought my leg could outlast him. Like, they were punting us so much. Ray was trying, I think, to either expose me, the special teams coach, and we became friends because he really liked Tim at the time, and Tim was much different. But we got after it, and we remained friends. So when he went to Green Bay, I was very, very happy for him. I'm like, that guy, fucking A, he probably should have had this job, but I got drafted and the GM made the decision, so I apologize. He goes up there. But if you were on a team I was on, and I pinned somebody deep, and then you got a pick 6 or something,
Ooh.
And there was not even a single like, oh, that's fucking awesome that we did that. Like, I would have been like, this guy's a fucking prick.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. That is amazing.
No, absolutely not. You would just be mad at me because I would tell you to punt everything out of bounds.
Yeah. Hey, listen, fucking just punt it. How hard is it?
Come on.
45 yards, put it out of bounds, and then we'll come
This is all you do, right? This is your job.
the most Ohio thing you have said in some time.
No, I would never do that. I hate when announcers say that about kickers. This is what you do. You got to make a 74-yarder in the win.
Yeah.
This is your job.
I was grossly overpaid to do what I did in comparison to what everybody else was doing, but there's money being made by everybody, so I'll take it, I guess. But our job, although it's nowhere near as physically demanding as every other position on the field, God, what a nightmare it can be. There's times where I had no idea why a ball was doing what it was doing in the middle of a game. It's like, why? All right. Let's not fucking ruin this game because you're dealing with a lot of things. You know, the ball's sweet spot is small. There's wind, your foot. You have to control your fucking foot. It's not like you're controlling your hand. I mean, it's a crazy thing. Some reason I could do it a little bit better more often than some people who weren't, but everybody can find their stroke and hopefully make some money. That's what I think. Everybody needs to make $1 billion out there kicking a ball. We're back in 4 minutes, AJ. We got to get to a break. Whoa, it's 1:50. All right, we're back in 4 minutes wrapping up this hour, and then AJ Hawk will be asking journalism questions.
Hell yeah.
To Aaron Rodgers on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. We'll see you in 4. I hate a lot of people for the way that they acted after that Friday thing. There's no way you're isolated enough that you don't hear any. You had to have heard. There's some massive names, politicians. I mean, your name has been spoke by a lot of people. Are you just, because you're like, hey, love will cure this thing. How are you not going to hold a grudge to everybody? And do you know that you're probably never going to win an MVP again? That's probably never going to happen, right?
I think that's a legitimate statement.
Legit though, like that. There's a lot of people that vote for that I think are not fan. Like, how do you isolate that? How do you stay away from that? Because you're talking about everybody on earth talking about you. That's not getting you down at all. I don't know. That's incredible mental toughness if that's the case.
Well, you know what? I think first, if you find your identity in yourself and you don't find your identity in the opinions of others, you don't need that validation and that love from other people. You can get it from yourself, and that's not being selfish. That's just learning how to in a healthy way love yourself and respect yourself, and believe in yourself. And it definitely was tested, by some of the comments that I heard. And so I'm human. I mean, stuff can definitely hurt your feelings, but look, I shared an opinion that is polarizing. I get it. And I misled some people about my status, which I take full responsibility of, those comments. But in the end, I have to stay true to who I am and what I'm about. And I stand behind the things that I said. And I, have a ton of empathy for people who have been going through the worst part of this pandemic, which has affected all of us in different ways. But so many people, like I said, with lives that were lost, lives that were forever changed. And I have a ton of compassion and empathy for those people. And I've tried to help out, as much as I can.
Yeah.
The other stuff is so out of my control. And there's going to be people that don't like you, and hate you for things you said, or might not even understand what you said or know what you said. It might just see a headline, and that's fine. I believe that people are entitled to their opinion, and even if it's an opinion that's unfavorable of me. But I'm going to continue to try and be the best version of me moving forward, and I'm excited about getting back on the field as soon as possible.
Hey, do you know if offense or defense is getting introduced this week in your game, and have you thought about it all, like what the reaction may be if offense is introduced and you're the last guy out? Have you thought about that?
I think it is offense, and I'm excited. There's nothing like running out of that tunnel last, especially.
You think it'll be different one way anyway than your normal, how they normally respond?
I don't know. I hope not.
They should show that on the network.
Oh, that clip will make its way.
Oh, yeah.
That clip will make its way around. Assume Raj had to walk in there and do a full, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the whole
curtsy.
Hey, we're coming. We're bringing a big sports stooge thing over here. Is that okay? Yep, deal. Perfect. Let's get some tea. Let's get the fuck out of here. How do you think that went between Raj and the Queen? You think she liked them?
Yeah. I bet she liked him. She probably knows a lot. Like, what if she's sitting there and then all of a sudden she's like, so What about Deshaun Watson situation? What about Deshaun Watson situation? What about Deshaun Watson situation? That was spot on accent.
Hit that one out of the park.
Like, what if she's really dialed in to the NFL?
We're live? Okay, awesome. Here we go. Hey, all good. Welcome back. Only got about 1 minute and 40 seconds, AJ.
How'd that happen?
Well, you gave such a good answer.
Yeah.
It's your fault. It was your fault. We took a
I'm
call,
sorry.
too. I mean, we even took a call. I mean, that was a big deal. Maybe we'll take one more here before this hour wraps up. Let's go to Rocky in Oregon. Rocky, what's going on, pal? All right, Rocky's dead.
Good run.
Hey, Rocky, hey, Rocky, what's going on? Good to hear you.
Hey, boys, how y'all doing?
I'm done.
Hey, so what's up with Scott Hansen not peeing for 7 hours on NFL Red Zone? How does that man do that shit?
Yeah, Rocky, great question. Every time Rocky calls in, we know he's going to get to something that we have not addressed, but we should. I watched the Red Zone channel this weekend.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Which one?
Siciliana.
Sicily's?
Oh, so you got the good one.
It was good. I could see how that person could potentially interject and make it a terrible show, though, like you guys say, happens every once in a while.
Every week. Scott Hansen.
The Office has turned on Scott Hansen very hard. I have never seen
What does
his
he
work.
do wrong?
He thinks he's fucking Vince Lombardi, dude.
Well, I think what happens is the boys think, and this is because they are a very judgmental crew, you know, and their opinions do not reflect that of their employer or their peers necessarily. But he thinks people are watching for him, is what people say.
Yeah.
Instead of like,
You
hey,
think? Really?
Oh, yeah.
that's what they say. I've never
Is he
watched.
giving a lot of his opinions on there? Because I watched Red Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and then also, I guess he had an entire couple minute segment of people dressed up like him in the middle of the fucking games. It's like, hey, pal, this is the only way some of us can watch.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yikes.
You do a great job, though, I think, is what people are saying. But Aaron Rodgers is next. Be a friend, tell a friend.
Hey, with the 17-game season, I talked to Pat earlier. I've seen some people try to say players may be pacing themselves or whatever. They can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Do you ever feel that with anybody? Is like your day-to-day change or anyone's mindset change with the 17-game season? And also, what are the chances that you're going to be playing in Green Bay next year?
Hey, that's good journalism.
It's a twofer.
Thank you for that too. For that, I find it hard to imagine anybody's pacing themselves. We're talking about one more game. You know, we've played 16 games for so many years in a row now. One extra game. You're talking about, you know, a 6.25% increase in playing. Like, I don't think anybody's actually really pacing themselves with the extra game now.
Did you just do that? Wow. Did you just do that math in your head right there? Or do you have the? Are you one of those guys like, oh, let me carry the one?
42 sounds like
Yeah, they have this cover 2 defense right now. I've seen this 40. Is that you? Is that real?
That's real, yeah.
All right.
So,
7 times 2.
I've got some good mental math tricks I can do another time.
Another show. Another show.
Another show. Age, no comment.
Oh shit! Hey, they're gonna have to bleep me out of a lot.
That's good. That's a good thing.
My reaction now.
I just wanted to no comment you, Age. That's fun for me. Now that you're a media personality, a big media guy.
Isn't that the first thing they tell you, though, when they sit you down your rookie year? Don't say no comment. That's what they told us.
Yeah, I wasn't part of that conversation.
But you are a rebel, though, so you can say it.
A maverick.
Smarter than you, I'm better than you.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm a better person than you are.
No.
Yeah.
I fed the birds this morning, so I'm a better person than you are.
Yeah, but you don't care about the ozone as much as I do. So do you even like to breathe? That means you don't even like the birds. You don't want the birds to be able to breathe or fly because you want the ozone to be ruined because you're a fucking asshole.
Is that right? Then how come I rollerblade to the supermarket every Saturday and Sunday?
Oh, did that make you feel good? Rollerblading, flattening the earth a little bit closer to the center so it can get hotter so then the heat comes from the ozone because you're pressing down the earth with your little rollerblades?
Well, yeah, but
I'm a better person than you are.
No, because on Wednesdays I'm planting trees and I'm trying to bring the earth back to what it was.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you're cutting up other trees' roots, though. What a fucking
right.
asshole. You
No,
yeah. Why can't you just let earth be the way it's be? You got to take your shovel and dig into it? Wow. I'm a better person than you are.
I know.
Dude.
I make my own manure. I make my own soil. I'm not chopping up any other
Oh,
roots.
so you don't like cows. You don't like cows pooping.
I hate farmers.
Unbelievable. You hate farmers. Oh, you don't like the head of cows. Oh, you don't like burgers?
Then how come I'm in the Farmers Association of America and I'm going to help?
Oh, you're a lifetime member of the FFA. Hey,
that's right.
That's what I make. I'm a better person than you are.
No, you're not. I'm a better person than you are.
That's politics, baby. That's what we just did right there. Let's get to the phones. Once again, I think we batted 1,000.
Boom.
In politics with what we just did right there.
How about that?
I do believe after that argument, though, people would say I was a better person than fucking you are, dude.
No, because everyone I just read on Twitter was like, oh my God, this guy rollerblades. I need to start doing that too.
No, that's because you mute all the other people that are actually on my side. They're telling you you're not the right person.
No, I refuse to mute anybody because I love everybody.
Oh, you're like freedom of speech. How come then you're not going to listen to everybody? Wow.
I do love freedom of speech. That's why I'm not muting anybody. What are you talking about? No, I'm better than you are.
Everybody's saying it.
No.
Yeah, everybody's saying I'm a better person than you are.
I heard it.
We just did, by the way, still batting 1,000 on politics. I feel so good about it. We even got into the reaction to the punditry.
Yes.
We're batting a fucking 1,000 out there.
Every side.
The people say we're not well-rounded. We don't have depth. Did you hear what we just fucking did? Come on. Wow. Let's go to the phones, man. What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on. You don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them.
Nice.
But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start
you know-
self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. Like, when did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Aaron Rodgers, Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021. Live on YouTube, Hour 3 begins. The man right next to me with a face that looks like it has never been concussed. A jawline that is sculpted from the sculptures of the gods. A college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, AJ Hall. The boys are here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt, looking fantastic at the Toxic Table. One half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys, a show that goes live every single day once this show ends at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. Tone Diggs is here looking fantastic. Great cap, great salmon, long sleeve sweatshirt today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's getting chilly out.
Way to kill it.
Hey, boy, Tony.
Hey.
Shout out to the boys in the back. Gumpy, how you doing? Keep it moving. But it is time for our main event. Ladies and gentlemen, calling into the show that he calls into every single Tuesday during the football season. A man that never gets talked about ever, about anything that ever happens in his life, to him, with him, involving him. Ladies and gentlemen, the only time this man is spoke about is right now during this show. So let's gather it all in and enjoy the hell out of this. Might have a toe issue. Beat COVID, is the reigning, defending, undisputed MVP of the NFL, Aaron Rodgers. Hey, dude.
Do I have to have that intro every single week?
So the issue is the computer that calls you is also the computer that runs the intro video that we do. So to get you on, we're already live, and nobody wants to hear. So it's really just a pastime for me. So I'll start doing different things though. But yeah, you're going to have to fucking hear it, dude. That's the way it's going to have to go.
Okay, just switch it up a little bit here and there. Maybe I'll let AJ do it one time.
Oh, I like that actually. That next week, AJ comes back in from the hour. Oh, I can't wait to hear it. I'm sure he'll say some magical things. Let's talk about your life right now. That was a heartbreaker, obviously, for fans. I couldn't imagine you. Just thoughts on how the game went, and now we're a couple days removed from it. Have you moved past it?
Yeah, I mean, it's always on to the next opponent at this time during the week. We get to rehash it on this show, which is great.
Always good.
But
let's dive into a miss, an incompletion you had in the first quarter 2 days ago that you are trying to get past. But let's dive into it a little bit. We apologize for that, but it is nice to hear from you.
No, I appreciate it. I sidebar with you guys how much I enjoy our conversations. I think a decent portion of the viewership probably thinks, especially new viewers, that AJ might be muted or a mute in general.
No. Just the people that see the clips.
We're here for you, buddy. We're here for you. We're not here to hear me speak. We want to hear the old COVID cowboy, Dr. Rogan, Aaron Rodgers speak, not me.
Jeez.
See, there you are. Just it up already. I love it. That's great.
Did you feel like you started out cold in the game against Minnesota, though? Because I was watching along in a closet to the Spanish version at the Barclays Center live on a TV, and I couldn't hear what they were saying, but watching, it felt like third quarter, down 13, you threw a ball to Devontae, and then you went to a Devontae again, then you scrambled one, then there was a pass interference, and you threw a dart to DeGuara. Was there something to that? Like when you find it, is there anything to that, or is that just like an ignorant take from watching?
I felt like I was in a rhythm early on. We just missed on a few plays. We had a couple of things detail-wise that weren't great in the execution on a few of the early drives, but I felt like we moved the ball pretty well most of the game. The drive that really got us going was the drive that started with a little over 3 minutes left, rolled into the 2-minute, and threw a touchdown to Josiah there at the end of the first half. And then, counting that drive, there was a kneel down that J-Lo took, and then we scored on four straight possessions, really. 4 touchdowns in a row. So we got into a nice rhythm starting with a 2-minute drive. Mike Zimmer's defense is always going to throw different things at you. They had a couple good wrinkles. They brought Harrison a number of times by himself. They had him playing kind of a nickel safety on the first play of the game. They brought a new pressure, which they always do. They got us the first time with it. And the second time we picked up really good, and the second time was the 75-yarder to
MVS.
And the beauty in that play is, I'm sure they talked about on the sidelines, it's a fantastic schematic blitz. Vikings are known for their double-A pressures. Obviously, they're kind of Mike and his staff is kind of the inventors of 7-up, 8-up, double edges, double mug. And what they were doing was they were double mugging, putting Harrison on to the strong side. And they've done a number of variations over the years, but they actually brought the strong backer and the strong A and wrapped the backside backer around with a loop by the 3 technique. Really fucking good pressure. Schematically, really good. First time, the 3 tech was actually coming free off of it. The second time, we did a nice job. We picked it up. Lucas did a great job of redirecting. A.J. Dillon stepped up and blocked. Kendricks, I believe, was in the strong A. And then Royce at right guard did a nice job redirecting for Barr, who was looping around, and gave me just enough time to sit in there and hit Marquez. But that's the beauty in the game is about it, making adjustments and being able to adapt. Again, this which to add another layer to that, our last 2 plays of the game were pretty good. I tried to call timeout on third down. Lucas thought snap was on that second leg kick. And then Devontae does a freelance route that ends up turning into a touchdown, and the next play is a 75-yarder to Marquez. So we finished the game fairly strong on those 2 plays. But the last play goes back to a sideline conversation with Luke Getsy, who ran the play earlier in the game, and saw that they had dropped the corner route. It's an old West Coast concept that we ran all the time when Mike was here. Kind of slowly has been seeping back into game plans. Thankfully, it's nothing special. Turns into a 4-strong play with a backside slant and various guys doing different things. You can mix up the backside route, but in the huddle, I said, Marquez, you go to 3, and Kabi, you go to 2 on this play. Meaning you line up in the 2 spot, Kabi, and because on the previous play that we had looked at, when I looked out on the sidelines, Marquez's angle was a little bit flat, and so I was thinking if I got speed at 3. That's going to attract multiple guys. And if I got Kabi in there, I got a good feeling that he's going to keep that high angle on the corner, and we might start off with an explosive play in the 2-minute. Well, it turned out I came off and looked left, and they double Tay, and I had Mr. 23 miles an hour running down the middle on a safety and put the ball in a good spot, and obviously he scored it.
Hey, so you are like Rain Man. I apologize, AJ. That was unbelievable. I feel like football just came through a fire hose, but everybody on the internet is going to check what you just did and put a video to it, and it is going to be so fucking cool, and I appreciate you doing that. Go ahead, AJ.
I mean, yeah, your recall is unbelievable, but we all know recall doesn't mean anything if you have 3 or 4 toes falling off. You have any update on how you're doing, what you did at halftime to try to help the pain level? These guys all assume you just go in there and get shot up with everything. I tell them Green Bay is very conservative with a lot of that stuff. But how you feeling now on Tuesday after the Sunday game?
I feel similar to how I felt last Tuesday. This is something that's not going to go away. I don't think it's going to be something I'll deal with. I'm not sure what the bye week's going to look like. There's a lot of options on the table. One option that's not on the table is sitting out. So I'm going to push through this and keep playing.
What are the other options?
Yeah, what were the options? Surgery? Out for the year? Amputate?
Yeah, Ronnie Lott that thing.
Okay.
Just snip it off. That's always an option.
Just the pinky toe, right?
Yeah, just the big toe, right?
Yeah, just the first 2 and half of the 5th, right? No, I mean, there's definitely all options on the table: surgery, rest, sit out. I'm not going to sit out, though. I'm going to keep playing.
Okay, hold on. Doesn't it behoove everybody to know what the hell happened? Because Tom Pelissero, the Arrow, who gets memos from teams, the NFL, into his brain and has the ability to and then just send them out literally so everybody can see him. That is what he's incredible at. He said this is worse than a turf toe, but you're still playing. Turf toe takes people out. Like that actually does. Shouldn't we talk more about you battling through something that is really incredibly painful right now? Or do you think people just don't say that because you're a hippie? And what is it? What did happen? Are you okay?
Well, with all due respect to Tom Pelissero, now I can say whatever I want. I believe that I mentioned that it was more painful than turf toe, and I had turf toe years ago. And the problem with turf toe is that it's that joint in your big toe, and it is very painful. So naturally, I'm leading people to understand that if it's worse than turf toe, there must be some sort of bone issue.
Okay.
So
we're uncovering stuff.
Yeah. again, it's better the fifth toe than the first toe, or even the second or the third, or probably the fourth toe.
Where do we start?
So yeah, are we European counting, like thumbs one, or are we,
Yeah, I'm going, one from the big toe, just like, it's 1, 2, 3.
So you're European. Okay.
4, 5, right? This is European now? Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
it literally was a war, a whole shootout happened in the basement of a bar because 1, 2, 3, 4.
German, right?
Yeah, the German is the thumb here. I mean, there was an entire situation there. So this, yeah, exactly. Yeah, tree. So
that's 3 if you're Sacramento Kings fan, going back to Big Vladdy Dottie when he would occasionally make a 3-pointer, and he's throwing up 3. I remember the first time he did it, I was like, "It's too legit. What is he doing?"
Oh,
Too legit, too quick.
Hi. And then Jeff Hardy took that right in the guns.
yeah.
And then Urban was like, give me that. So let's talk, though, about, so this is pinky toe. This is what we're happy. Pinky toe, ring toe. And it's obviously did you stub your toe? You were walking around with COVID. Bang! Is that what happened out there?
Look, Pat, I've already talked enough on this show about my medical status and other ways. So I've given you enough information at this point. I have an injury that's not going away, and I'm going to be dealing with it for at least the next few weeks.
And this is pinky toe. Okay, good. I feel like we did our.
All right.
Good for us.
There you go.
Hey, way to go, AJ. We did it.
I think just cut that bad boy off. You'll be all right.
Well, that's what Ohio would do, obviously. But I don't think you ever get talked about for your toughness. Do you think it's just?
I can get you a toe by 3:00.
All right, let's move on. How is the team? How's it feel? You got a bye week coming at like a perfect time, especially with your toe. But Bakhtiari allegedly had a scope within the last couple weeks. There's rumors now he's back for the stretch run. What does that mean? It feels like bye week maybe could be this week, could be better, but maybe at the perfect time as well for you guys.
Yeah, we got to get healthy. We got a lot of injuries. Obviously, losing Elton doesn't make us a better football team. He's been so talented. He started center for us at left guard, left tackle. He played right tackle last year in the opener. I mean, he's such a talented player. Kind of, similar to Dave, very freak injury. He kind of was setting out to block Harrison on a free safety pressure off the edge, and looked like he was just bracing on his left leg, and his knee just kind of gave out. So disappointed for him. He's such a great kid. Such a talented player, and means so much to us from an energy standpoint and just his play style. I mean, he's a fantastic player. To be able to be so good, all rookie team at guard, and then to be just so reliable at left tackle. I mean, that's just really rare in this league to be able to do that. And obviously a lot of injuries that we haven't thought about, maybe Packer fans, I'm sure, in the back of our mind, but, we still have 2 of our top defensive players who haven't played a whole lot this year, and Jair and Za'Darius. So, I've definitely seen Jair. I feel like I'm not overstepping, stating that he hasn't had any setbacks, I don't think, by any of the medical stuff, the information he's received. I don't know if that means he comes back and plays this year, but I know Z, we're all hopeful that Z's able to come back and play at some point this year. But we've got a lot of injuries. We've had a number of ACLs that have hurt us, and obviously we've been wanting Dave to come back for a while, and he's just not quite ready. So it's been a grind, but we got a home game against a good opponent this week, and we're going to have to find a way and get to the bye at 9-3.
Have you ever had a situation before in a game like you had this past game when you were trying to call the timeout, the ball is snapped, and then all of a sudden you throw a touchdown pass? And also, as that ball is coming to you when you're trying to call a timeout, what was going through your head?
Oh, shit. It was 3rd and 6, I believe, in that situation. Very important time in the game, 23-17. We started the drive backed up. It's been a really nice drive for us, and knew how important that play was. So I gave a long, silent cadence in the huddle. As we broke the huddle, Lucas goes 15, meaning 15 on the play clock. And I said, yeah, we're fine. Because in my mind, I was going to see if they might jump on the first 2, or at least, they were Barr and Kendricks were in the A gaps, and it looked like they might plan 0 behind it, which is again with Zimmer, they will bring both backers, but the side of the turn, that backer gets freed up and he gets a drop off.
Turn. What's that mean?
But the center. So we were in a left dominant formation. We had a protection where the center was going to turn to the right. So both backers initially come, but the backer to the side of the turn of the center, he gets a drop off in coverage and kind of buy in an extra guy.
Those guys get picks a lot, right? Because you don't see them at first.
Exactly. And so what happens, Pat, is you have to squeeze to the side away from the turn. So if you bring both guys, and in that situation, our left guard ended up blocking the backer in the left A gap, and the tackle squeezed down on the 3 technique. So the free guy was going to be Everson off the edge. So I was thinking about calling timeout. Now, because of the timing of my leg kick and the snap, Sean Hockley, the referee, rightly allowed the play to go. I'm happy about it now because of the way it turned out. But I will harken back to this, and I said it yesterday we were watching the film. I wonder this. In 2016, we were playing the Vikings at home later in the year, and they ran almost the exact same pressure, right? And Everson was free off the edge, right? And I knew he was free and knew I didn't have a great place to go with the ball, so I spun out of it to the left and ran it in with a real average juke on the goal line. I think I juked Xavier Rhodes. Jordy Nelson claims that he kind of gave him a push that put him off balance. All that to say, I scored a touchdown on that. The exact same pressure, basically. I don't remember if they're in the B gaps or the A gaps, but and actually they could have been the B gaps on Tuesday. Either way, we were squeezing. Everson was free. I spun out. So I wonder, and you'd have to ask him, was there anything in the back of his mind remembering that play in the moment from 5 years ago that, oh my God, like I'm free, but I got to kind of like make sure this older, marginally athletic guy doesn't try out on me. Crafty, yeah. So,
I'm happy we're at this point, by the way, because just a few weeks ago, remember he was saying, am I tripping over my own feet? Mm-hmm. Now there's a chance that Everson Griffin has nightmares of 5 years ago.
It's not, I don't think Everson has nightmares.
No, okay. You're just maybe a little hesitant, but there's a lot of...
He rocked me a couple of times in the game. I enjoy him a lot. He's a nice guy. He's pretty funny on the field. He said some hilarious things over the years, and I enjoy competing against him. But in that moment when I caught it, oh shit, we're squeezing. I look left at Marquez. He kind of cut his route off a little short. He had a through route, so it's kind of off him and looked quick to the left flat. Cobby was running just a little smoke route, and Pat P was out there and he was all over it. And I just happened to look inside in the slot at Tay, and Tay had made an unbelievable double move, not in the initial play at all. And I was able to just kind of load on my left, on my right, knowing I'm about to take a shot and get the ball up enough. And then I saw a flag down, and I was like, "Oh, here we go. Oh, did we hold or something?" And they called, a marginal roughing the passer, call, and the rest is kind of history on that one.
Yeah, it was an amazing play, amazing touchdown. The internet said that obviously Aaron Rodgers getting preferential treatment here. Mm-hmm. Clearly called for a timeout, instead threw a massive touchdown. But if you're getting preferential treatment, I don't think you would have signed yourself up to get killed by Everson Griffin. Yeah. But nonetheless, incredible game. A lot of great plays were made. You end up on the wrong side. On the field, you thought Savage caught that? I was dancing around Barclays Center. I was having the time. They went to a commercial. I don't know if you've seen the TV copy. They went to the commercial break. Gumpy was sprinting around Indianapolis. I was dancing in the Barclays Center, yelling while they're shooting things on the other side. And then we came back. Kirk Cousins has the ball still. They show the replay. Once again, I'm watching in Spanish. I don't know enough of Spanish. I've learned it. They show the replay. It's like, oh, that was clearly a drop. How were we even sold it on the field? Did you guys know that was a drop?
When I saw it live, to me, when you saw the ball come out, that goes back to the issue of leaving your feet going to the ground. You got to secure the catch all the way to the ground. But as we've seen at various times, once you're on the ground, if the player knocks the ball out of your hands, they've been rightly calling that a catch. So I went and got my helmet, but I was really thinking, I don't think this one's going to stand. Went out there and immediately, close thereafter, they showed the replay up on the Jumbotron, and I was talking with Anthony Barr out there, and he was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "It's not a catch."
Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah. Hey, AB, you and AB get along, by the way? You and AB get along? I saw you guys interact with each other a couple times through the game.
Look, we had, in 2017, we had a misunderstanding for sure. I felt like he might have given me the middle finger. As I was walking off with a broken collarbone. In 18, we talked about it and kind of, patched things up or whatever. Let bygones be bygones. He's a Pac-12 guy. And we've played it, we've kind of passed that threshold. We've played against each other so many times that there's like an ingrained respect that goes in. And same with Eric Kendricks and Harrison Smith. Played against those guys and Everson, those four guys have been around there for so long. There's just a respect level, knowing what it takes to keep being your best year after year, and there's a respect level that goes along with it. So we were actually talking about our colleges. The Golden Bears romped in the big game 41-11 over Stanford, and UCLA beat their crosstown rivals. I believe it turned off 62-33 or something.
Hey, he jumped over a guy. That dude, DT.
That was amazing. Yeah,
it was awesome.
Hey, how good is Harrison Smith? I feel like that dude should get talked about all the time. If you watch that dude disguise his coverages and blitzes and everything he does, and then the plays he makes, watching his film is a thing of beauty. Showing him disguise, how tough is it facing a dude like him?
I mean, I think the way that he disguises should probably be standard secondary teaching tape. He's, I think, the best in the game at that. And then you add to it, he's a really good blitzer. He's got a number of sacks over the years. And then you add to that, he's a great tackler. And then you add to that, he's got great ball skills. So, he's definitely the total package. Played against him for a long time. I have a ton of respect for him. He is the most difficult person, I think, in the league to determine whether or not he's blitzing, what he's doing on certain plays. They do such a great job disguising. It takes the two inside backers and the safeties and the corners to create a great disguise. They do a great job of that with Barr and Kendricks and Smith all kind of aligned. A few times, you guess right because it is a guessing game at times, especially if you have audibles in the game or check with me's that are based on shell. Is it too high or one high? A lot of times taking your best guess based on all the information, but a lot of times over the years you guess wrong. I happen to guess right a few times in the game on Sunday, and especially in the second half, and that's, I think, what kind of got us to a rhythm on some of those check with me's. But
can you explain that? What check with me is?
Yeah, so we have a run or a pass called in the huddle, and the run can be based on a specific technique you want to run the ball to, or and that could be a defensive line technique, could be where linebacker's located, or it could be safety location as well, or it could be one high or two high. So one high safety or two high safety. And then you could have an associated run to the opposite side with that initial run, or you could have a pass play or a keeper, any of those things. So a lot of that is, certain situations, certain teams, you feel like with the front information and maybe the way the corners are playing or the safeties or linebacker location, it might be a little bit easier, or some teams like to line up in their final if defensive structure maybe a little earlier based on cadence or based on any other factor. But Minnesota likes to hold as long as possible. There's certain tells with certain teams, like if it looks too good to be true, a lot of times it is. Like maybe the will linebacker is sitting in the A gap and there's no B gap or C gap support player. You're thinking, all right, well, there must be weak rotation on this play, so you can kind of guess. But what Minnesota does is they stick the Mike in the A gap and the Will in the weak side B gap, and last second they both jump over two gaps and the safety comes down right at the snap. So a lot of times you are just guessing. on what it is, and thankfully, I definitely in the second half I guessed right more than I guessed wrong.
Couple quick follow-ups as a sports dude who doesn't know football anywhere near as much as you two, obviously. This used to happen. I think Bill Belichick started doing this to Peyton, where they wouldn't move until like 10 seconds left in the play clock or 5 seconds left in the play clock because they thought at that point Peyton wasn't able to check the play. And with that being said, does that mean there's 4 plays being called or could be called in the check with me? What does Scary Ninja mean?
I'm not talking about Scary Ninja, but ninjas.
Hey, that's recall from last year, by the way, huh? Little, huh?
Ninjas can be scary, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Jackie Chan, Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah, Steve.
Any of the kids in Three Ninjas.
Maury Tanaka, yeah.
Steven.
Ninja Turtles.
Seagal.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal, hard to kill.
Tough. That guy survives everything. That motherfucker's been through it.
Oh yeah.
I don't even remember what the question
is there 4 plays there? And do you have a time in your head where you can't go? And this might be too much information, but I think it's been figured out at this point. Is that why you're always so close to 0? Because you're trying to hold on as late as possible because defensive coordinators are kind of fucking with you in that?
I mean, I think this game we did a better job. I mean, the only time we were up against it seemed like, was when I was thinking about calling timeout and Lucas snapped it. We actually did a lot more short cadences this week, just to try and get them to respect the fact that we wanted to, try and combat some of the disguise. So that's what you got to do. You got to mix it up. Some weeks you run 4, 5, 6, 10 plays on first sound. Against teams that you want to get up and just get things going. Some teams you like a long cadence to really, get to the perfect play based on the final coverage.
That's a long one right there. Did you hear what I just did right there? That was a long one. I mean, that's a lot of the play clock being eaten up by this incredible cadence. Go ahead, Todd.
Aaron, I can only imagine how loud it was in the stadium on Sunday. They mentioned on the TV copy like several times how you couldn't really hear anything in there. At this point in your career, like, does that really affect the offense that much? Because it seemed like when you were feeding off it when they were getting their loudest, and you dice them up, get a big first down or that touchdown to MVS. Like at this point, does that even really affect you guys that much?
I'd say we're pretty good at all of our silent adjustments, route adjustments, cadence. We've done really good over the years. I think I said it on the show a few weeks ago. Big shout out to TJ Lang and Josh Sitton and Brian Balaga for their help early on with some of the silent count stuff that I think really changed the dynamic on offense, being able to get off on the snap count. Those guys did a great job of inspiring and using their creativity to try and figure out how to best utilize that silent count. But look, I've played in some really loud environments over the years. The loudest outdoor is obviously Seattle. I mean, that place is really nutty to play in, and you can't hear anything. I mean, you're screaming in the huddle. I've had to signal in the huddle at times because it's so ridiculous. The old Metrodome, as far as inside stadiums, the old Metrodome, I think it's got to be the loudest. I mean, that place was
Minnesota.
Absolutely rocking in Minnesota. It was just smaller. The new stadium is a beautiful stadium in Minnesota. It's not as loud as the old Metrodome. It's very loud still, but nothing. I don't think. I mean, Atlanta in the playoffs in 11 was crazy loud, and in 16, but the old Metrodome. Because they were pumping in that sound, it's probably the loudest indoor stadium.
Whoa. The RCA Dome, did you ever play here before Lucas Oil was open? They said that place was loud. They got accused of piping in noise as well because of how loud it was. Not proven. Not proven. Hey, you watch this? Not proven. It's all hearsay. It's all a bunch of bullshit. You watch Man in the Arena, that first episode about Tom? And is that something you would get into?
I didn't see it. I like binging shows. So if there's a point where you can binge it, then I might check it out. But I think are they doing one a week? What are they doing?
Yeah, this is the new thing. Apple started it with the morning show and Ted Lasso, where they only release one a week. Fucking get on with it. Give us at least 3. We need at least 3. I think that would be the proper amount if you still want to get a couple week buzz. Don't you agree?
I agree. A couple week buzz, is that what you refer to it as?
Yeah, because it comes in, everybody watches it. It's one weekend where, like Tiger King, for instance, comes in one weekend, then it's dead. I think they wanted to combat that with all their work so they could extend the time. I don't know. I just hate it. I hate it. I'm like you. If I'm deciding to pay attention to this, you better give me all of it, because this ain't going to happen again.
No, that's how. And I love Ted Lasso. Thanks for the Rex on that. But even with Ted Lasso, I would lag behind and hopefully not get any spoilers so I could watch 2 or 3 in a row. Just because, I don't have an extended amount of time to really watch TV in general. But if I'm going to sit on the couch and do rehab or just zone out for a little bit, I need a couple episodes at least in a row.
I agree. I don't think you're being too high maintenance. I agree. And maybe we're both wrong because it feels like every show is now becoming one a week. It's like, no, we had this before. We don't like this. We changed. We completely changed the game. We don't do this anymore. Last question here for me before we get into, the most amazing book club announcement of all time. Is there anything that you'll carry with you through your quarantine where you had to be by yourself for 10 days? Aside from breaking toes on things, is there anything that you'll carry into everyday life going forward? Is there anything you got out of quarantine that, maybe a positive out of this whole thing? Or?
Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, it was quiet. I definitely missed seeing the guys. When I spent time this off season, working on myself and away from the team and enjoying my time off, it kind of started to feel like what retirement might be a little bit. And both you guys played for a long time, and I'm sure there was periods where you were like, I miss the game, but I enjoy what I'm doing now, but also just missing the camaraderie and the competition and the locker room and different things. And so I got to feel that. I think there, regardless of who we are, there's at least a minimal level of fear about what that next chapter looks like. And I feel like this offseason I faced that down and said, well, it feels pretty good. I like what this feels like. I'm not worried about life after football, but I was still training and dedicated to, coming back if things kind of look the right way. And I'm so glad I did. I've had a blast with these guys. Being away from the squad again was the first time since I had a real bad concussion a few years ago, minus the surgery in 2017. And I really miss the guys. I really miss the locker room and the BS and the jokes and the meetings and just all the little things that make the week passable. As you're getting ready for the most important and the most fun part, which is the game. There's so many great things: the presentations, the side conversations, the jokes in the locker room, the characters I have to my left, the D-line and Preston and characters across the other side of the locker room, the offensive linemen, and just the interactions. And so I miss those a lot. And just continuing to cherish those and have a lot of gratitude to still be doing this, to get to play, to not have to test for the next 74 days. All those beautiful things that come out of being by myself for 10 days.
Well, we're happy to have you back, and it doesn't sound like you're counting down the days to your next test at all or anything like that. So I wonder, do you have it like on a calendar in the, all right, how many, we got 74 more days. All right, 16 days free here. All right, let's keep this thing.
I don't, but, again, I'm thankful that I felt good in just a few days and didn't have any lingering effects other than the COVID toe. But
we did it. We got the fucking answer.
There it is.
We did it. There was a New York Post headline yesterday speculating that because A.J. Hawk said you and Joe Rogan were smoking DMT, and on one of your trips, boom, something happened to the toe. The New York Post said maybe A.J. Hawk knows something we don't know. There was a lot of other accusations happening.
They gave AJ some pub, huh?
Oh, and then his face, the picture they chose was him mid-blink, and he looked, it was very rude. I mean, it was unbelievable. But COVID toe was something people were saying. I'm happy we got to the bottom of this. Look at us, journalists. Hey, we're journalists. We're journalists. We're journalists.
Age, did Laura cut that out? I hope that's framed. Maybe.
She has no idea that happened. Zero idea about it.
I'll have Sam send it to me.
I bet Vetter knows all about it.
Pat was worried. No, Pat was worried about that I wouldn't like the picture of me, which I'm on here for multiple hours, 5 days a week. You can pretty much get whatever you need if you need a bad picture of me.
And
just screenshot something. But I was more surprised that you didn't deny it. You didn't deny it. So I was like, all right, it might be true.
That was fucked up. What they did to you, AJ.
You guys were swinging kettlebells, smoking DMT virtually, obviously probably carrying your laptop. Boom. Toe just hit one of these walls in my 72,000 square foot house.
By the way, that's awesome that you and Joe Rogan were hanging out during your quarantine doing the kettlebell swings with those gorilla ones.
Yeah. I have some. Those are awesome.
We were hitting the heavy bag together, doing some kicks. Yep. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, it's too heavy of a bag, and you didn't know you're supposed to hit with your shin there. It's not it's not your foot. You turned your foot. Was it your left or your right? Right foot. You turned your right foot. Boom! Hit that pinky on it. That bag felt it, but so did you, obviously.
You put your left foot in, and you put your left foot out.
Yeah.
And you put your left foot in, and you shake it all about.
Oh, it was the hokey pokey that got you, wasn't it? That's fucking unbelievable. Can't wait to see how the
old DFT hokey pokey, man.
Could you imagine him and Joe Rogan? That was so much fun. You put your foot in too far. Oh, my fucking toe. All right, let's get to a much more educational part of the program. Hey, 18 seconds left in the first half, 13 seconds, whatever it was. You were heading in to get treatment? Is that what happened there? If I didn't ask you about this, I would be considered an asshole. You were in the tunnel. It looked hilarious. There's no way you could have thought the ball was coming back to you guys. Trainers, you decide to go in. What happened?
Well, if you remember what happened, I told them I wanted to go in. So Nate and I started walking in, got a nice chorus of boos on the way out.
Thank you.
But thank you. The first play was there was a replay, right? They had to look at it, a review, because the receiver caught it. They said, and then it was obvious that it was dropped. So I just wanted to wait till second down if we did pick it off, or if there was a turnover, because it looked like they were going to try and go score. The ball on 25 with whatever time was left. So I wanted to just give it to second down to see if we made a play. I figured if they didn't complete it on second down, or if it was a minimal gain, they would run it on third down and punt. And unless we blocked it, Jay could, take the snap and kneel down, more than capable. That's a funny story as well. I won't get into about the minor freak out that happened, whether or not Jordan needed any snaps with Lucas Patrick or not. I love J-Lo because he was like, I'm fine. I'm good.
Oh, so the kid was confident. People were trying to tell him maybe he needed to take some, and he's like, will we please relax?
Yeah. Come on, we're good.
Hey, J-Lo's going to be a guy, maybe.
Hey, here we go.
Hey, maybe. I like to hear that. That's a big deal.
Yeah, proud of him.
So what you do? You went and got a shot in the foot?
I went and got a little treatment.
On your COVID toe. What'd they do? They give it a mask? Did they give it a vaccination? What do they do to the COVID toe?
Are we doing the
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the smartest, most academia thing we are a part of, and I have ever been a part of in my entire life. It is time for week 12 of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club. Obviously, this thing has been captivating the universe of readers since the very beginning of the season. There's been new readers. There's been old readers tapping back into the eyeballs to read once again. Last week, he gave us Fingerprints of the Gods, a 7,000-page book that there was no way anybody was able to complete in 1 week, but they'll keep it on the list for the offseason. This week's book is...
I'm gonna do a little lead in because I've been picking a lot of more serious books, I would say. This book was sent to me this week by a dear friend, both AJ and I's, and I wanted to highlight it. I haven't read the whole thing yet.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's the first one I haven't read all the way through, but Age and I know this guy. We have for a long time. And I want to highlight his new book that he co-wrote. It's by Brian Baumgartner and Ben Silverman. It's called Welcome to Dunder Mifflin.
Oh, let's go. Here we go.
And for those of you like myself and AJ, and I don't know about the boys, but who are huge fans of The Office, and some of us who actually got to be in an episode, The Office helped me get through COVID. I mean, I watched it 2 more times from the beginning to end during 2020. Again, you can binge shows, and that one is amazing. I first started watching the British version of The Office, starring Ricky Gervais, years and years ago on a recommendation from my friend Joey.
Genius.
And loved it. And then, obviously fell in love with Steve Carell and the American version of The Office. Brian Baumgartner, who played Kevin Malone, by the way, doesn't talk like that in person. I want to, obviously, if you've seen him on various shows, he's also a Packers fan. But he did a couple podcasts. I want to get the names right here for Brian. An oral history of The Office and a newer podcast, which is called The Office Deep Dive with Brian Baumgartner. I want to show this photo of him. He's also really big on. Can you see that?
Yeah. Move it. Yep, right there.
There he is.
He's also really big on Cameo. He wanted me to mention that as well. But this book is written similarly to the way that the podcast was recorded, with a lot of interviews with people and back and forth. And look, The Office, one of the most watched shows of all time. At one point, I believe it was watched 4 times. It was the most watched show on Netflix with like 8% of the viewing audience, and the next highest was at 2%. So Netflix definitely fleeced NBC for The Office when they licensed it, because so many people were watching so many minutes of that show. But definitely fun to highlight Brian. I've met him in 2008. He's from Georgia, but a big Packer fan now, and excited about his book that just came out, and thanks for sending it out. So next week, I don't know if I'm going to do a more serious one again, or something a little more subtle.
Israeli study next week, right?
Dude, are you kidding me with this? I'm really pumped about this. What's the name of this one?
This one is called Welcome to Dunder Mifflin, the ultimate oral history of The Office.
Well, I can't wait to dive into the podcast to tell me what's happening in that book. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy the hell out of that. I, too, big Ricky Gervais fan. I've seen The Office. The Office here is big fans of The Office. We appreciate you for joining us, man. Thank you for another incredible Tuesday, dude.
Yeah, I feel like we got a couple good nuggets there, and
oh, here we go. All right.
Put that capo on.
Something?
No, I was going to let you lead the way, and then we were going to sing our song that we practiced.
What do you guys sing?
It's our song, Aaron. Go ahead.
Our song?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was just about to get into it. It's Tuesday. They say is that Aaron Rodgers is rather great. The son of a bitch lied. Oh. I thought that's where we're still writing it. I thought we were gonna. You guys just got a chance to kind of dive into a writer's room with me and Aaron.
Process.
Like that show you like, yeah.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes. I hope everybody goes and gets the book. Shout out to Cuz with the cameo and the book. I hope it's incredible, Mr. Baumgartner. And I need to watch The Office more. I think everybody seems to love it. We're back in 4 minutes, wrapping up this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Great journalism, AJ. Great journalism.
Hey, AJ.
Thank you, Aaron, for your time. I'll see you in 4. Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it. And your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years maybe one player, or maybe one or two players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in three phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who played for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, it was pretty cool. Roger Goodell gave me a big hug beforehand, too, so that's cool, sir. Thank you so much. Shane, you drinking? Yeah. Cheers to you, man. That was a good one. That was good. That was good. Oh, that was I feel like it went pretty good. Oh, look at the phone.
Today's show is presented by Arby's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fucking love
You
that.
should know this by now, but the latest and greatest addition to the Arby's menu is the Arby's boneless wings.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We've tried them. They are unbelievable. This is no BS.
I'll say this. They gave us 7,000 boneless wings for free to start this promotion because Arby's was excited about them. They should be. We ate those for free. We liked them.
Yeah.
I ordered them last night to the new house, because Arby's is now available on DoorDash.
Sure.
I said, bring those chicken nuggets with buffalo sauce on them, or barbecue or honey to the house, because they taste so good. They call them boneless wings because that's what everybody else calls them. They're nuggets that are cooked very, very good.
Oh, yeah.
And taste delicious.
Yeah, I mean, we've been enjoying the 6 pieces of all white meat chicken and crispy seasoned breading tossed in either classic buffalo or hot honey sauce all season long. It's served with their new crinkle cut French fries, which personally they may be better than the Curly's. I know it sounds blasphemous. It's not. You get a little cheese sauce on the side. Those things are unbelievable. All that is just $5, $5 for the boneless wings and the crinkle cut fries. Get out and try yours today. I'm gonna get it after the show.
Well, they also have a 9-piece available too that I got. It's more than $5, but I got the 9-piece with the fries and that added cheese side on side.
Oh yeah,
it was so good. AJ.
What's up?
COVID-19, dude. We knew a new variant was coming. We knew a new variant. It was the Alpha, the Delta, the Beta,
Omega.
Meta?
What?
No, that's Meta. That's actually Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
But COVID-19, big conversation. He said it was a bone, so I guess there is something called COVID toe where your toe swells up or something and it's incredibly painful. He said it was something with the bone, and it was worse than turf toe. He fractured his pinky toe?
I don't know. I have no idea. So are we for sure it's just pinky toe or was he messing around?
Oh. I
don't know if he was counting the numbers. I don't know where you're counting from. I still don't know.
Well, he said the
Yeah, but
European way. So
listen, I would like to let it be known that I feel like I am, maybe not, I guess. No, people would not say that. I thought there was jokey jokes in there, but I also thought there was some serious. And I think in my brain, the thing I took away from it was, okay, it's pinky, it's bone, it's worse than a turf toe, so it has to be a fractured toe. Still don't know how it happened. Maybe they were hokey pokeying, he and Joe Rogan, but I don't think, maybe a stove of a toe?
We have to go back to the tape because when we were doing the thing, because I thought he said first toe.
Yes.
Which would be the big
toe.
Yeah, that's where I'm confused.
Oh, so it's his big toe.
What I understood too was multiple toes. What I understood.
No, that was for the
That was the jokey joke.
Cut off.
Was that jokey joke?
I thought he said it was the fifth.
Hey.
So the pinky.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I thought
it was pinky. In my head, I was picturing it now, and I don't know what's real and what wasn't in there. But in my head, it was pinky toe, and that thing was broken sideways in my head.
Yes.
I saw an actual. I put in my head while he was doing X-ray foot. Toe like AJ Hawk's finger.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
Should we get a
What's the COVID toe you read about?
COVID toe?
Your toes swell up. That was one of the
fungus,
symptoms.
maybe a thing.
Circulation.
Something happens.
Yeah, there it is.
Who knows? Who knows how many people have gotten it who haven't? We should not be talking about this. We are not science like the Hammer Down boys.
Right,
The
yeah.
Hammer Down
We
boys.
will cover that after this show.
Yeah, the Hammer Down, the new faces of science. We'll definitely have to cover that. But so broken pinky. Surgery could fix it. They'd straighten it out, right? That's what would happen. He said surgery could happen. All options were available. He would not miss. And he said the next few weeks, what's that mean? Are they going to put like a popsicle stick on it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Is
they
that what's
probably
gonna-
have to.
Yeah. Is that how you took it as well? Am I the only person that took it that way?
Well, process of elimination, it's either the big toe or the pinky toe. So it's one of those
Which
two.
gets us, by the way, nowhere. I think that was the expected thing. You never hear about those middle fucking toes.
No, but I would imagine if it is even like a hairline fracture or something in your foot, like that's probably incredibly fucking painful. I don't know about COVID toe. I don't know if it's in the pinky or the big toe, but I did think, if we're doing what he did, I assumed it was the pinky toe.
Because I think he said 5, and he did the Vladdy-Dotty.
Yeah.
We like to party.
Mm-hmm.
We shoot threes, and we throw threes like anybody.
You think he's wearing steel toe spikes?
Something to think about.
Has to.
Should.
He's a blue-collar guy, too.
Red Wings? Got some Red Wings on.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking. I mean, could you imagine him doing the Tom Brady slide like he did last night? Tom Brady went cleats
Red
up on
card,
his second
dude.
baseman.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He went cleats up on the second baseman. Soccer, somebody does that. It's a penalty.
Yeah,
Florio's
red card.
pissed.
Not the
Straight.
first time.
I got
Wait,
one.
Florio was really mad?
He tweeted about it. He was not happy.
But
Listen.
also, hey, in Tom's defense, though, I know quickly, if his foot, you got to raise that foot up because if his cleat catches the turf, guess what? You're going to tear your knee up.
And he doesn't tape his ankle. He just does the spat tape himself to make it look cool, I think. I honestly think that's
The
just
back
for his...
part just the back part of his shoe.
Yeah, he looks cool. Remember, because Nike wouldn't let people have a contract and get spatted because you tape it all up. So maybe that's what Tom's doing. I don't know. For the ankle support, you're right. Got to go cleats up, though. You don't want to get hurt doing something that's awesome on an 11-yard rush. Mad Dog Russo's on the other side of this 6-minute break. Cheers. Welcome back to After. Whoa,
Slide down.
Slide on in. Whew. Now, Foxy told us during the break that those transitions could have made a play in the middle of the show earlier.
What?
Yeah, when I told Herbert to get off the screen so I could re-intro him, he said he could have came in with a new transition. He chose not to.
Oh, Foxy.
Believe me, I told him the same exact reaction you said. I'm like, dude, what are we? That's why we have him, right?
Come on.
And Foxy was like, I missed it. I'm so sorry.
I missed it. I didn't want to distract from the moment.
Oh, Fox, you forgot about it. You forgot about it until immediately afterwards and said, I could
swear I didn't.
You did not forget about it and
I
didn't
just
pull the
didn't
trigger?
yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
It's kinda
Foxy,
like,
have confidence in yourself.
Well,
Come
it's
on.
kind of like having these for
Lions
like 4
Thanksgiving
years.
week of all the weeks. Have the
Have
confidence.
confidence. You're fucking good, Foxy.
I know, but it's Herbert. He's
Eat
not
the
on
turkey,
show that
dude.
much. I just didn't want to do. I didn't want to pull the trigger. He's
Bro.
a humble guy, and I needed a humble transition for him.
Bro, take the shot.
Come on.
One
Hey,
shot.
to Foxy's credit, though, you can see how one transition could throw off the whole conversation. In the next 12 minutes, all you do is talk about transitions from scene to scene.
Well, Herbert, if you recognize that transition, but we might talk about it for 12 minutes. And be like, hey, you're such a good guy, but you're right. He could have thought maybe I'm looking out for the good of the conversation because, maybe Foxy was looking out for me because I could get distracted by a good transition. But I like the fact that you said, you got a good read on Herbert, and you're like, I'll just go with the humble transition.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about you. You're a pro. You
Yeah.
can handle anything. You literally do WWE. The dumbest shit comes in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
I just was a little worried about Herbert.
It's awesome to think, though, that Foxy thought about taking that thing behind the back while doing a 360 and dunking, but was like, nah, we'll just do a layup.
Yep.
We'll just do a layup. It's not about me right now.
Next time.
Hey, thank you, Foxy.
Thank you, Foxy.
Humble transition. All right, let's talk about some stuff. LeBron's suspended for 1 game, AJ.
Come on. Whoa.
I'm
surprised. What did he do?
Well, Shams Charania told us yesterday, and you were there for it, I think. So he was hand jousting with Isaiah Stewart, and while his hand was tied up, LeBron said, get the fuck off of me. Okay, that's what he said. And while doing it, he had a beautiful, precise punch right to the eyebrow of Isaiah Stewart, which is thin skin, bone, easily cuttable. Actually, in fights, I think people are actually looking to cut that early so that your vision's impaired. And if you're just optically looking at it, it looks like you got your ass kicked whenever blood is bleeding from the eyebrow after getting punched. LeBron said immediately afterwards, if you listen to Anthony Davis's words, he turned around immediately and said, I am so sorry. I did not mean to hit you in the face. And AD and everybody said the guy flipped out. Maybe because he did sniff his own blood all of a sudden and felt it and was like, this guy's going to punk me. He loses his mind. There's an entire scene. LeBron allegedly, we broke news, I guess, on this show via Shams Charania, who is, shout out Shams. He said LeBron reached or tried to get Isaiah's number afterwards to further apologize. Isaiah gets 2 games. LeBron gets 1 game. And the interesting thing is LeBron's game is at Madison Square Garden, his favorite place. It's first time back being completely filled. You thought the NBA wasn't. Shams actually alluded to it like, there's a good chance nothing happens because it's Knicks, it's Lakers, it's such a big deal. But if they suspended him for the next time they played the Pistons, like was being talked about with Marquise Morris and Jokic, you suspend him for the next Miami game. I guess that would set a precedent that Adam Silver didn't want to do, because if you just suspend LeBron for the next Pistons game, you still get the Madison Square Garden night tonight, and you potentially avoid being, we favor LeBron James. I just don't know why they wouldn't do that. I don't know. Maybe I
don't know, though. To start saying that, we're going to suspend you for a game in a month and a half from now, whenever they may play again. Like, if you start doing that, that's going to be kind of tough. And then you're going to, are we going to take all rivalries out of games and any kind of guys, any beef, you can't play against this person?
I guess that would be a great counterpoint. The suspending somebody for years in advance or months in advance for what they did in the past. Tom Brady got suspended 4 games 7 years later.
Yep. Yeah.
And then it was not handled well. So maybe Adam Silver saw that and was like, well, people hate it. But LeBron was he even allowed to be there tonight? Is he even allowed to be in the building or suspended? Probably not, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Kicked him off the tour.
Oh, that's a shame, man. I wanted to see LeBron and MSG.
I know.
That's horseshit.
I'm waiting for it all
Come
year.
on, Adam.
Hey, if old Buddy wanted to fight, why didn't he just fight the first time? What? Before everyone...
Because he smelled blood like a shark, remember?
So Rex Ryan said that, he didn't know the severity of the shot until he's like, I was hit pretty hard. Look at his blood. I came to see it out of my eye. I'm bleeding.
That's it.
Maybe that's what happened. And it wasn't until then that he knew he had to go. But Rex Ryan said this on Get Up on Monday morning. And I quoted Rex a lot because I think this is the first time I've watched Get Up on Monday morning with Rex Ryan, because normally, I just come in here and then we do our thing. We're reacting to Monday, so we don't really. He talked about how in the NBA, seems like it's always your team holding you back. In the NFL, it's sometimes the other thing. That is a little bit of the difference there, where it's more. Rex Ryan was basically, it's all bullshit what happens in the NBA. In the NFL, if a fight's going to happen, it's going to happen. And I think you kind of just pointed to that, but there's a lot more show. There's a lot more peacocking nowadays, which I think is good for society.
There's a lot of that in the NFL, too. There's a lot of peacocking in the NFL where guys get in each other's face. I mean, if if guys want to fight, they're going to fight. They're not going to talk about it.
What if Isaiah, after immediately getting that, goes and then just fucking lands a clean one on LeBron? What if he was like training, like an actual trained fighter, and he gets hit with, oh my God, okay, pow, 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 just hits like a 7-piece on LeBron James.
Lifetime ban from the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go
Never
get a
play
fucking,
basketball.
be fighting in the next UFC pay-per-view.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Heavyweight.
In the Apex.
Yeah.
He'll have Buffer screaming in his face his intro. That was a moment there.
Yeah.
And then
Michael Chiesa, that was great.
What the hell was that?
Was that Chiesa?
They got the guy fucking jacked up.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then
he got beat.
Oh, did he lose?
Yeah.
There was a chance he was going to lose it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Might as well get hyped.
That was not the reason why. What was that? 2 weeks ago, Connor was walking in front of his television.
Yes.
I fucking love people that fight for a living. I enjoy it so much. The amount of just mental toughness you have to get through so many layers of like, hey, this is not, I'm signing up to get beat up. Like, what are we, it's awesome. Frank Gore's going to kill D-Will.
Can't wait.
He's going to kill him.
You would think, right?
Well, allegedly, Mike Tyson used to, this was a headline, I didn't read the entire article. He would have sex with groupies before fights because he was scared that he would kill his opponent. So he wanted to lose some power and energy before fights because he was scared he would kill somebody in there. I wonder if Frank Gore will do the same thing.
Makes sense.
I wonder if Frank Gore will do the same thing. What if Frank comes in and he's literally like speed bagging? Like, no, I actually could have been a professional boxer, but I was making so much money in the NFL. I was like, no. Because all these celebrities and athletes, guys are athletic. Like, I think Ocho, his feet, he was quick. He showed. Nobody has really looked like a natural boxer.
No. Or had like legit knockout power.
Jake.
Yeah.
And Jake like looks natural. You know what I mean? Frank getting in there, I think it's going to be...
I think Frank's going to look good.
I think so too. He said, didn't he mention that people are going to say that guy looks like a boxer?
Yeah.
He said his body's going to look good.
He said his body was going to look good?
I thought.
He said people are going to respect his skills.
Yeah,
too.
skills.
Okay.
Yeah, because I asked optically if he's watched other people box, which was me trying to say, like, do you think a lot of these other people that have done this are trash? Because I don't know, but you watch like a great boxer, and then you watch people that are very new to boxing, which I think is why it's so hard to get there, because you got to go through a lot. And Frank even talked about that yesterday, about how he's the bottom of the gym, and this shit is hard. He said, this shit is hard. I wonder how because 2005 is a long time for a professional athlete with an incredible work ethic. Like, to practice something and hone in on something, what if he's a guy?
And he mentioned Chad Johnson from what he did in his boxing.
South Florida down there.
Yeah, and he fought like a bare knuckle fighter or somebody.
Yeah, like a professional fighter. Yeah, it was awesome. I can't wait to see Frank. I guess we have some breaking news out of the NFL. Stay tuned for potential big changes for December 18th, Patriots-Colts Classic, hoping for the big time. Did we get flexed? We got flexed into Saturday night. The daytime for a game versus New England is set 8:20 p.m. Kickoff on Saturday night, December 18th. Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah.
So we're going to try to get in that building. Obviously, we will try to be there because there's no other NFL games going on at the same time. And Indianapolis doesn't always have these types of things because the way events are scheduled around Indy. I am pumped. This is a massive game. Mac Jones and Josh McDaniels come into the city. That Josh McDaniels said,
I'm all right.
Mac Jones has stare down a great defense. And remember, he's just a rookie. Mac Jones is just a rookie coming into the Lighthouse on Saturday night. Come on.
You already got plans.
Will there be a Sunday game too?
You already got plans.
That's the Frank Gore. Aaron Williams fight.
Why are they on Saturday though?
Plans can change.
Those games
With new
sometimes
information.
happen.
The end of the season change. It happens. It happens.
We have to go to the fight.
I believe every year, week 15.
That you confirmed that.
What time would the fight be, you think?
Probably
8:20.
Yeah,
9:20. 9 p.m.
Will they reschedule the fight maybe because of this?
Maybe.
Yep, they will.
All right. We'll go to the fight. Frank, hey, let's go. We were invited.
That's right.
But like Packers, Colt, or Patriots, Colt.
Yeah, but it's fucking Frank Gore too.
Where's the fight at?
Tampa,
Florida.
Oh, it's here in India playing Tampa.
There is a chance.
I'm sorry, playing New England.
Both teams are right there too.
Yeah, this is the game. Well,
So you can watch it on your phone at the
How long is that flight? Hour and a half? 2 hours.
2 hours. 2.5 maybe.
You can set an iPad down there that like you remote control,
It is
and your face is there.
You might be walking in with them. I mean, let's.
I don't know if that has been agreed upon, but
might.
Maybe. I mean, maybe there is. AJ, what
You should be.
No, you're with me. What are you talking about? You said
Be
you
one
were
of his corner guys.
No, you two are.
You're going as well, asswipe.
Yeah, you said you were going as well.
I thought I was going to that Colts game actually.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
you're
not as yesterday. We told Frank. We got to do that.
Yeah.
Wait, why is it
Saturday, dude? How does this even happen?
They usually start the Saturday
After
games week
college.
15. Yeah.
Will there be a Sunday night game as well?
Oh yeah,
Saints.
Bucks Saints. Yeah.
Yeah, Saints Bucks. Yeah.
So who's calling the Saturday night game?
Probably ESPN, Amazon, ABC.
Greasy.
What
Huh?
network did it say it was on?
Go back.
I didn't see.
Fox.
Is that NBC, right?
Oh, it doesn't say network.
820 is typically the
Hoping for the big time. He said 254 and then turn.
But
and
Sunday
7
Night
minutes
Football
later,
is
got it. We fucking locked it in. We thought it was going to happen. 254. I hope. And 301. Fucking got it. Saturday. What's going on, AJ?
NBC's in the Sunday night games are the only ones that you can be flexed to, though, right? So that's got to be NBC.
Well, no, because NBC's got Notre Dame, right? Is Notre Dame done then?
Yeah, they
Or
wouldn't
day
have.
game,
I
probably.
don't know if
They'd
they'd have a
probably
game
have
that week.
Bowl game.
So
later.
right
They
now,
don't play that late.
How long have the Saturday games been flexed into? Has this been happening for a while?
right now, if you look at like the schedule right now, there's 5 games on the 18th that have TBD next to them as far as time and shit like that, and obviously.
Oh, so the Colts were going to play on Saturday regardless.
Right now it has them as Sunday, but yes, it's
Yeah.
gonna be Saturday.
And it won't be Fox.
Why?
2 AFC teams.
Well, and also they got college.
And they'll probably flex another one because usually it's 2. Usually they'll do a 4:30 and an 8:20. So because there was 5 games not set yet from
That's
the
awesome.
19th, yeah.
What are the other options in there?
Carolina at Buffalo, Vegas at Cleveland, New York at Miami, probably not that one, and Washington at Philadelphia.
That's probably the one that they'll do. Man, Frank Gore's fighting. Could we have ever known? No. I mean, that was just a day.
I
Plus,
know.
even
It
if
would've
you
been
did-
a couple weeks ago, maybe.
Even
but-
if you did know.
Oh, you think that maybe he would have forgot that he invited
maybe,
me?
but it was yesterday. So he definitely has not forgotten yet.
Hey, Jay, you're going with me, dude. So,
Okay. All right. I can't wait to see how this plays out as we get closer to the date. Where are you at Friday for SmackDown that week?
oh, who knows, dude? Who knows?
There's probably a pay-per-view this Sunday, too.
Maybe.
No, that was you guys said that was the last pay per view of the year.
Really?
On
No.
Sunday.
Oh, yeah, because we got the day
what it
1,
was.
January.
Yeah.
You are in Chicago, Friday, December 17th.
Oh, that's right down the street.
Oh, so
You're probably in Rosemont.
Short flight, though.
Yes.
It's very short.
Chicago right to Tampa. That's
Some might say
Allstate
23.
Arena, dude.
Frank would understand.
Yeah. He loves football.
He
No,
does.
not yet.
And a Colt.
He and Aaron talked about, but what he said about
Yeah,
he and Aaron talked back-to-back days here about, when the end of football is near, it gets a little scary because what are you going to do, And I found that very fascinating that Aaron, he said if things didn't look the way I thought they would look or whatever, he got to experience retirement. Then it came out that he did contemplate retirement. That was interesting to hear from him today. That was a little, transparency out of the whole situation a little bit more.
Yeah, it is. I am definitely curious to see what his life looks like when he is done playing
He's
football
jumping
and what
off
he does.
waterfalls and singing Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Host Jeffrey.
Friends are getting knocked out.
Wow, jumped.
Watch out, AJ.
Hey, beautiful seg, actually. Is it segue there?
To where?
Well, to fucking talk about that guy. What's his name? Ryan Phillippe.
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller, but yes, Ron.
Miles Teller.
Ron Phillippe.
Ryan Phillippe.
Also.
I knew that there was some sort of something with him, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's coming back.
He shit on AJ.
Right, yeah, there it is.
Big time.
Philippi did?
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Said
right?
you stunk at football.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know we were going to get to that. Miles Teller, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're friends with him. I am not. I've never met him. TMZ and everybody reported that he just got his ass knocked out at a diner in the middle of the day in Hawaii, and nothing else was said afterwards. So being a very professional broadcaster on WWE, when somebody gets punched in the exact same fashion that I pictured in my mind that was told via the TMZ, it's hard not to be like, just like Miles Teller getting knocked. It's hard, especially when it's right there, like within the last 12 hours.
Makes sense.
And then Miles Teller throws me under a bus and says, "Oh, that wasn't what happened at all. Fuck you," basically. And then I'm now in the tabloids in Norway and all these places. I'm like, what are we even? Could you not correct somebody else then? I'm sorry. I will correct the narrative. The narrative is now being created. I think those other people were either being sued or imprisoned for jumping Miles Teller. It wasn't the first time it happened, which is what he alluded to in the tweet, by the way. So we're happy justice was served.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Justice.
Bingo. Anyways, I still
all pub is good pub, right?
Wow.
I didn't like being dunked on in Norwegian, because people were saying I was a bad guy. I was like, I didn't make this.
I mean, you got to get over like being dunked on or being buried or whatever. Like that's this. Who? First off, nobody does that to you, and who cares? What do you mean? You're live for multiple hours every single day of your life. I would sure as hell hope there's some people with opposing views of what you have to say.
No, I agree. If it's accurate, though, like I thought that was.
Nothing's accurate. What do you mean? There's nothing accurate out there.
DMT and Joe Rogan doing a hokey pokey with Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, that has not been denied yet. So
3 times now. You've pitched that 3 times, by the way.
Interesting.
I mean, hey, shoe fits.
3 times. Well, the shoe doesn't fit anymore because.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Hopefully, talk to some of his ancestors when he was smoking that DMT, try to fix that toe.
Did he? And I guess the other game on that Saturday has been decided. It is Raiders Browns 4:30. Patriots Colts 8:20. Cleveland's just like a 45-minute flight. We could
double up,
double dip.
But Frank Gore's got to fight.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
2 games Saturday.
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
That would be sweet.
No one's ever done that.
I'm sure people have.
I think Herbstreit does it every weekend.
NFL? No
You'd
way.
want to watch the Raiders and Browns play.
You're right.
No.
That's
breaking records.
We're not doing that. No expectations. of us
No
doing
chance.
that. I am not doing it. That would be very cold. I'm not.
Let us in the Guinness Book Records right now.
No, so that ain't a Guinness record. No way. Somebody's done it. Goodell's probably been to 5-6 games in one day.
Goodell?
Our commissioner.
You know what else is warm though?
What's that?
That suite at Lucas Oil.
Right on the field, dude. Right on
Food was so good.
But you got the natural heat down in Tampa.
True.
I saw that with A.Q. Shipley's head last night.
That's
It was
right.
glistening.
Got a place to stay already.
That's true.
Maybe there's
Tony
a Bucks
O'Brien,
game.
bunkmate.
Oh, you can go to the Bucks Sunday night
Bucks
football.
are on, Sunday night.
Oh,
there
that's
you go.
I'm in town. I'm down for the Bucks game.
Standing on the sideline with Brady.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'm going to be on the sideline. I don't think they're letting anybody on the sideline. I just found out because there is a celebration ceremony happening this weekend that I'm potentially attending as well. And I don't know what's going to be allowed to happen and what's not going to be allowed to happen due to protocol stuff.
Yeah, but you're still in your 90-day window.
Yeah, but they don't care.
That doesn't matter.
They should.
I agree.
That's bullshit.
It should be a blow and go. You
That's
know,
right.
like if I blow in the antibodies, fucking let me go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just,
Yeah.
I'm immunized, dude. Let me in there.
Like AJ in his glory hole back there.
Yeah, exactly. The blow and go.
It's not mine.
You know.
We know you stare at it every
Why'd
day.
you try and put your penis in there then?
Yeah. Is that how you
I would not. I told you. You guys know that's not my thing.
Now you did multiple times.
We learned a lot about you yesterday in the after hours. When
man.
The pet piranhas.
So
Yeah.
cool.
We put that video out this morning at 10 a.m. just because we thought that'd be a good one. Super Bowl champion A.J. Hawk talks about having 8 pet piranhas.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee reacts. Classic YouTube algorithm.
Yep.
Super Bowl champion A.J. Hawk, piranhas, reacts.
Yeah.
We got it all.
Yeah.
I don't know how that video did. We'll check in on it. Hopefully it did well. because that was one of the most absurd things I've ever. I told you this. You said.
Come on. You tell me you don't know anybody that had piranhas?
No.
Not one.
No, and by the way, we're not the only ones. There was a lot of people on the internet that like driving with 2 feet. We've met idiots who have done that. Known to fall asleep while driving. We've met idiots that have done that. Keeping your car on while pumping gas. Yeah. We've met idiots that have done that. This one, nobody. No, there was not a lot of people, and it actually so much so it got on your Wikipedia. I don't know if you saw that in your early years. Yeah, it is. It is in there. I mean,
they happened to die briefly after that pump failure.
Yeah, and then I think my favorite line that you said was that your pet piranha was so tough it lived for another 18 hours. Because that means
I may have exaggerated that a bit, but I did have a lot of pride in how tough he was.
Yeah, because he had to earn to be the last piranha.
Can you imagine you're looking around and you have 7 other dudes that are killers with their teeth showing, and you're like, all right, here we go. Let's strap in. I got a 6-year fight ahead of me to take all that.
Did the piranha start eating each other before or after you fed them its first pound of human flesh?
So I saw a video or someone sent to me on Twitter or something. Someone had a mouse or a rat in there and some piranhas. That is not my thing. I do not want to watch that. I don't even like watching the video of that on Twitter. I was not doing that. I wasn't putting live animals in there like that.
What were you putting in there?
I was putting fish in there.
No, you told me that you got cadaver penises from Ohio State sent to you, and you just dropped those in the water.
You were putting Wexner's penises?
Yeah. See, this is where you guys are wrong. I told you, my piranhas would only eat live things. If anything was dead and I put it in, they didn't mess with it. So I would never be able to put cadaver penises in there.
Okay. So live penises, though, maybe. Mm-hmm. And I'm surprised you didn't try it with how much you talk about this thing.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was
glory hole.
It was that's quite a different game. Maybe
that should have been on Fear Factor.
Glad you cleared that up, though.
Yeah, thanks for letting the world know that you weren't just putting animals. I still think it's fascinating that you had pet piranhas.
Yeah.
And it sounded like you loved that.
I had every other fish, too. I had Oscars are huge. Oscars eat tons of fish. If you could get an Oscar, I had a couple Oscars that were, I don't even know how to, they were huge, and they would eat 10 fish at a time.
Why don't you get a dog, dude?
Yeah.
Carl. We had one. We had a dog.
Yeah, Carl. I sent him a picture of my fish tank.
Mm-hmm.
He said, not my style, but nice.
So wait, that's like the hoity-toity tanks. I don't deal with those, but they look good.
They did. What's that? It's
an Oscar, right?
That
is an Oscar fish, yes.
Is that the snakehead?
Oscar.
You had snakeheads too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Looking up snakehead right now.
Snakehead looks ridiculous too. That's wild. I did not have a similar childhood at all.
Nope.
How old were you when these were happening?
No, this was like high school.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I mean, I had smaller tanks when I was younger of like normal whatever fish.
How'd Pistol feel knowing that there was a piranha swimming around in his living room?
Well, it was upstairs, and I don't think he was excited.
No. After it.
Yeah, after the glass shatter.
After the piranha actually hit the window so hard, boom, kind of went out. You know what I mean?
He broke the pump himself.
Yeah, that's what I think happened. I think the piranha was sick of it. He said, you see, there was once 8 of us. Now there's only me. This is too small of a goddamn thing. Boom, blows up the side, swims through Pistol's living room, does his whole thing, and then he inevitably dies because fish can't live.
There's no way he had one of these.
You had
That's
one?
not a snakehead, is it?
That's what this guy said.
I mean,
that's what
that's not what I had. I wish I could have grown them that big.
That thing's huge.
What's it have? What is the back end of that thing? It's kind of incomplete, right?
Maybe that's the snake portion.
That guy's really happy.
Well, it's fucking
That's
massive.
a fucking big old fish.
That thing's gross.
Yeah, that's gross.
Oh, piranhas though, beautiful.
Yeah.
Piranhas.
They kind of are.
Can you pull up a picture of piranha? I don't think I know.
Red belly, full grown. They're. I think they're beautiful fish.
They are pretty sweet.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
I got glow in the dark ones in this thing in the thing, blue eyes glowing in the dark.
That stuff's cool, man. All the different lights they have now in the live coral. Saltwater tanks are cool.
They're very. I mean, it is a meth lab behind it, and the amount of shit that's a piranha.
That's a red belly too.
Get the whole thing though, because the whole thing.
Yeah.
What if Zito just zooms out like he tried his best to make it look? What is it? All right, let's move on. We could talk about you and the piranhas for so long. And let's talk about the poll that I ran. Zito, can you actually go to my Twitter and find the poll so we can get a live update? I think it is over or ended soon, so we can get the actual numbers on it. I put out a poll about who would you rather pay 14% of your salary cap if you were a GM right now? Baker Mayfield, Jimmy Garoppolo. Because think to yourself, and Baker's up after this year, Jimmy's up after this year. Trey Lance is over there in 49er land. We have no idea what's going to happen in Cleveland, but this is a decision that Andrew Berry will have to at least look into. Do we bring in Jimmy G, who's probably not going to cost as much as other veterans that are on the market because he already got paid? Who knows what his market's going to look like? He would be perfect for our offense that is already ready to go. Or do we keep Baker Mayfield, which we still have to do that? Now, there's going to be other options, draftable quarterbacks, veteran quarterbacks, and everything like that. But this is one that could potentially come up in conversation. And I wanted the world to give me an answer. Like, what would you do here if you're Andrew Berry? Both sides attack the other side heavily for even being listed next to each other. Baker Mayfield, they got him next to fucking Jimmy Garoppolo. The Jimmy fans were like, Baker fucking Mayfield? No way is this even a comparison. And it ended up, I would like to see here, 50.5 to 49.5. 99,000 votes with 1 hour left. There is a chance, very good one. This is going to go over 100,000 votes. 50-50, AJ. That's crazy to me for both sides. Jimmy plays healthy football every other year. If you look at he got unlucky. Some people get very unlucky. That could happen. Baker Mayfield playing through a torn labrum and a broken humerus right now. These two are going to be a decision that's going to have to be made by a team. Maybe Cleveland, AJ.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it is interesting that it is pretty much split right down the middle, 50-50. It's tough because it'd be hard to give 14% of your salary cap to Jimmy only because the guy hasn't been healthy. He has a history of injuries. He's missed a lot of games. Now, Baker's playing through what he's playing through now, so I feel like it's a hard time to actually really evaluate what Baker's going to be in the future when he's battling through all of this. You can, I'm not saying he's handling the media great right now and walking off the field after last game. He's super frustrated. I get it. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not a GM.
I agree. Like Baker, he's going to look back on this and know that walking out, and I love the fact that his wife is a ride or die, and she reposted somebody else's words, and now they're saying it's her words because retweets and shares are
endorsements.
Endorsements.
Unless you put in her bio, it's not.
Well, and I don't know if you can for the Instagram thing. I know people do that on Twitter, and everybody goes, okay.
Like that matters.
Okay, thank you. But they're quoting it as her going to bat for the toughness of her husband because she sees him at night whenever he tries to sleep or can't sleep. Is probably sleeping on a goddamn lazy boy up and down, which is a part of the game. You're going to get hurt. Him playing through all of this and now being judged on how he's performing in this particular setting where he probably is in the most pain she's ever seen him. She thinks it's bullshit. I respect and appreciate that. With that being said, Cleveland Browns fans, not all of, some of them probably feel the same way we do, but there's probably a lot of people that are not going to be as open-minded about factoring in the injuries and what he's going through. There's a lot of people saying, get him out of here, and then him not talking, and then her doing that. I think there's some people in Cleveland that feel disrespected, but I don't know. Not every human's going to handle everything like a robot, even though you're supposed to be when you're a quarterback of the NFL, which feeds even more into the fire that this guy can't handle being a quarterback in the NFL. It is just, Andrew Berry's a young GM. This is a fucking massive decision for the future of the franchise and the state of the franchise.
And there's no right answer to this question, but do you think if Jimmy was on the Browns, they would be better, or if Baker was on the Niners, they would be better?
Yeah, so Connie, you have an answer, I think, to yourself.
I personally don't know. I think with Jimmy on the Browns, I would probably say, they're better, but I don't know if I could say if Baker was on the Niners that they'd be better.
Let's also take into account that everybody is judging broken humerus, torn labrum Baker Mayfield and non-throwing shoulder versus Jimmy G right now.
Well, but even if you look at last year, it just feels like that team goes as the run game and the offense goes. And I guess you can, or the line, excuse me. And I guess you can say the same thing about the Niners, though, too.
So Tannehill, we thought that with the Titans, they paid him a $100 million contract.
Mm-hmm. And they lost to the Texans.
Wow.
Maybe Baker needs a trip to the Cheesecake Factory.
What's that? Oh, Jesus. All right, we're moving on.
What does that mean?
No.
Long story.
It's they got such a deep menu that you can find anything to make you happy.
That's right.
And
Appetizers.
yeah, let's go to the phones. Let's go.
I do have a giant menu. I love Cheesecake Factory.
Have you ever been given a tour of the refrigerator?
Curbside delivery.
Oh, come on.
It's incredible. I went through the refrigerator, one time.
Okay.
Big.
Huge.
Massive. I don't know how they have how the chefs and cooks can make all of those different meals.
They probably throw a lot of food away, right?
That's the thing is, how do they know if something's still? They have it all slotted. It is very meticulous, and there's like clocks, I think, on everything because they have to have so much shit. But I watch Bar Rescue, and Taffer walks in. There's something that's been around for 8 years.
Shut it down.
And if it hasn't been ordered in a long time, they put it in there. Like, how do they keep it updated even on the shit that isn't ordered often? I don't know. It feels like a lot of overhead, but Cheesecake Factory has it figured out.
Yeah, that's why they're still doing it.
Still doing it.
That's right.
Hey, they're little mini corn dogs.
They do a good job.
They do.
What happened, Gump? Did Gump get pleasured while he was at Cheesecake Factory?
Let's go to the phones. Well, let's go to Ohio.
The Oreo cheesecake.
You guys have all these inside jokes. I don't know what you're talking about. You need to clarify.
We don't. It's all right. I don't want to continue to talk about this particular.
I know. Go to Bill in Idaho.
No,
He's not on. He just hung up. Oh, shit.
Okay.
How about in Cincinnati? You want to go to Cincinnati?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, this one's on you. His name's Drew.
Drew down in Cincinnati. What's on your mind, pal?
Hey, what's going on, Pat? Good
Keep
to talk
it
to you
moving.
guys again. Spoke with you on the 13th back in October, and funny thing is that we discussed about Ohio State jumping UC.
Yep.
And with the way things look, if we're number 4 today, I think at the end of this whole thing, we'll probably now get jumped by Notre Dame, who is number 5.
No.
Your thoughts on that?
No. Don't worry about that, Drew. Cincinnati's going up to 2, maybe. Up to 2's going to be tough. They're going to get up to 3. I think they're going to get up to 3, and we're staring down the Ohio State, Cincinnati playoff game.
Hell yeah. They're going to get boat raced.
In the state of, everybody's going to get boat raced by Ohio State.
Exactly.
Whoever plays Ohio State in the playoff game is going to get boat raced. This time, it's potentially Cincinnati. The state of Ohio and the state of Cincinnati are going to pick up and go somewhere warm. And that place is going to be infiltrated with Ohioans. I mean, it is going to be a good time. That's how I see it going. AJ, do you have any thoughts as a college football expert?
I mean, how can you justify Notre Dame jumping them if they beat Notre Dame?
Well, that's a Michigan State, Michigan thing.
Yeah.
They'll have Michigan and Ohio State ahead of Cincinnati tonight.
And then Ohio State would beat Michigan by real close.
Mm-hmm. And then
that's going to be a blowout, right? I mean, we're all watching the same football teams.
I don't know. Michigan's much better this year than they have been.
And that defensive end, what's his Trey? 94. What's his name?
He's good.
Hutchinson.
Hutchinson.
He's a fucking guy. Yeah. I love what he's Sunday guy. He's a Sunday guy immediately. He's a hell of a player. But Ohio State.
Yeah, AJ, they're not going to score enough points to keep up with Ohio State. Like, there's no chance.
I haven't watched much of Michigan this year. I know they're better.
I will say this. I barely watch college football, but from what I watched, that Michigan team is the best one I've seen in a long time. They finally have a quarterback.
Oh, see, I don't pay attention to anything. I just assume, that Michigan State was the team out of Michigan because everybody's talking about Michigan State so much.
We are. We won 10 of the last 14.
Well, then I found out, that they were 19.5-point underdogs against Ohio State. Yeah. And I'm like, so that team fucking stinks.
Yeah. And it was about 22 low, too.
Yeah, it was way too low.
And if Michigan State beat Michigan, you can probably assume that Ohio State, who just beat Michigan State.
Yeah, but it's a rivalry game.
Points.
Throw the record books.
That's true.
Ain't that right, AJ?
Yeah, that is 100% true. Doesn't matter.
Rivalry week.
I hope that the old Cincinnati Bearcats get a chance, though. I hope they do.
I do, too.
To get killed, whatever everybody's saying. I just hope they get a chance to represent in there. Mm-hmm. And let's not forget, if they do get killed, that other teams have gotten killed too. Yes. Everybody, that's why Cincinnati didn't deserve to be here. That's why blah, blah, blah. Maybe there's only just 2 good teams a year.
That's the problem with college football.
There's only maybe 2 good teams a year.
Yeah.
This year's a little
who
more.
Who gives a shit who makes it? Really, let's just end the season right now and let fucking Georgia and Ohio State play tomorrow.
What happened to Iowa? Hold on, because Iowa was way up there, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but Iowa does what they always do. They win a big game against Penn State and then turn around and lay a fucking egg against Purdue at home, get beat by, 3 touchdowns they shouldn't have, and then drop another one to Northwestern or Illinois, later in the season. They do it every year. Their quarterback absolutely fucking stinks. Both of them. Both of them are really
They have
bad.
21 really good, 23 really good players.
Okay, what's that?
They had 23 really good starters.
I mean, they beat Illinois on
Quarterback
Sunday,
stinks.
and I believe their quarterback, who was the backup, who's now the starter, was like 8 of 27 for 77 yards and 2 picks.
See, I loved Iowa, and Zito just reminded me in my ear that Condoleezza Rice said an 8-team playoff is going to happen.
Nice.
Okay, so that's good news. The 5 champions and then 3 at-large bids. This is...
Thank you. Is she still on the committee?
I don't know. She probably knows the people. I'm not 100% sure if she's on the committee, but that was said last night on Monday Night Manning, which is fantastic. The Iowa Hawkeyes. I alongside traditional football, high football IQ humans, lovers of the game of football.
That's right. Absolutely.
Really enjoyed that Iowa run because the way Iowa was playing was we got a fucking guy punting the ball who is a superstar.
Yeah.
A guy that's changing games with his foot, his athleticism, his precision, his bombing, his competitiveness, his athletic. This guy changing the game. And then guess what? The defense would hunt and swarm. We're playing field position in turnover football. Offense, don't fuck it up.
Right.
The punter can only carry the team so damn long. That's right. At some point, that offense had to step up for Torrey Taylor, had to step up for that defense, and you're saying they just never did?
Yeah, not really. No.
They wasted this obvious Ray Guy award-winning punter's incredible season because they couldn't get it together.
Luckily, I think he's only like a sophomore. I believe he's got a couple years left. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Hey, who knows? Maybe Wisconsin gets beat this weekend. If Iowa beats Nebraska, they could still play in the Big Ten championship and then play in the fucking, Capital One Bowl or some bullshit like that. But yeah, it's what Iowa does, and we love them for it.
Yeah.
Hey, basketball looks damn good. They beat Western Michigan by 49 last night.
Hey, there's no Garza, but there is a guy right on the basketball
Keegan
team.
Murray, absolute stud.
A superstar, right? Much different player than Garza.
Yeah.
I mean, go Hawks, whatever the case is.
That's right, baby.
And I was just told in my ear that guy's not up for the Ray Guy Award.
No, he did not get nominated.
How?
I don't know. He wasn't happy about it. He
What a
basically
question.
said, who's even fucking voting for this award? He said something along those lines.
Hey, Tori, I want to let you know if I assumed he was a senior because of how good he is. If he has a couple years left, okay, cool. I can't wait to watch him do his thing. I, too, I got to at least waste a couple of days down in Orlando to go to the award show. I was a finalist, but don't worry about it, pal. I think if you look through the history of the Ray Guy Award winners and NFL production and everything like that, you're going to find out maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. But, Tori, you're a stud, dude, and thanks for representing out there. Thank you for wearing that shirt. What a legend, dude.
Yeah. Good year.
Maybe you guys have him play quarterback.
Maybe.
Probably better than the guys they have.
Yeah.
What if he's better than your quarterbacks and he has to
He's a big dude. They should let him at least huck it around a little bit.
Look at this dude's. He looks like he's got AJ's neck.
Yeah, he's got it. His neck is thick.
Can you put that photo back up?
Yeah, he is.
Look at that.
Is he old?
Look at that
Big
neck.
body.
I don't know. It looks
He's like 22, 23. So
Little
maybe
bit, so-
older than kids in his class are, but I don't think he's not like 30.
Which that is a full conversation that is happening and will continue to happen. There's like a 29-year-old freshman kicking football somewhere, and I was like, I was retired.
Yeah.
After an 8-year career at that point, hey, I love you though, bub. Keep it going.
Here you go, Tori.
This dude was winning games.
Oh yeah, big game on Friday.
He was
Big game
he
on
was
Friday.
winning games.
That
Yeah.
Penn State one.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
I mean, when you have to punt, 26 times a game, like you're gonna have to be pretty consistent, and he was.
He's 23 years old. Zito just told me a little factoid there. Let's hit some. Hey, from Melbourne,
Of course.
Melbourne, down under, big neck.
Yeah.
He'll AJ Hawk a Cobra strike if he has to.
Crushes.
Ain't that right, AJ?
Yeah, Aussies, the ones I have been around, do not mess around.
Well, and they have a great time too, from what I've been like.
They're just awesome.
They are, yeah. The Aussies are an incredible culture, I think. From who I've been around, we got to get there. Now, maybe December 18th, we go.
Oh, that's
there
good.
we go.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the phone.
I'm in.
You're in?
Yeah, I hear it's really good over there. COVID, they're completely cool.
Oh, geez, of course. The
Thanks a
real
lot.
world
Yeah.
dives in. Let's go to Michael in Wisconsin. What's going on, Michael?
Yo, boys, how's it going? Hopefully y'all are having a good Aaron Rodgers Tuesday out there.
Yeah, hey, you too there, don't you know?
Hell yeah, I'm wearing his jersey. Why not?
Hey, let's go!
Yeah! All right,
Oh,
so... All right.
Fucking
So I got two questions here for y'all. First off, could LeBron James make it in the WWE potentially? I feel like he could because, well, we all see what happened with him and Isaiah Stewart freaking knocking him out cold, bloody face and stuff. And my second one is, could we have an Aaron Rodgers Tuesday potentially in Green Bay, potentially at a WWE event maybe?
Oh, okay, Michael wants to tie in WWE with LeBron and Aaron. I would love it. LeBron James, good flopper, huh?
Oh, yeah.
He can sell. He's a salesman, huh? He
Big
can sell.
seller.
A big seller. He loves telling stories, obviously Space Jam.
Reading books.
He's 6'8", runs a 4.3 or something like that, 265 pounds. I think he'd be great in the WWE. Hey, LeBron, come on in.
Brian loves Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm.
Eggs.
No, he's got his own pizza place.
Oh, Blaze, that's
Just
right.
Blaze.
It's actually pretty good.
It
Very
is.
good.
That's
And
one
quick.
thing he
Very
does well.
efficient.
He ain't joining the WWE while Commander Aziz is in there.
Commander Z's on Raw.
Is that the guy you tried talking shit on, or
No, AJ did.
AJ did.
Yeah.
Both.
No.
I saw him. I saw the Commander this weekend.
Yeah.
First time since he's left and gone to Raw.
How
I've
is
seen
he?
the Commander and Apollo.
You doing well?
He's doing well. Still very tall.
Okay, good.
I did see him saluting.
Always.
It's got to feel good.
Yeah, I
You
did.
salute you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Apollo.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We told him we missed him though. Yeah, LeBron's a WWE fan, as is everybody. By the way, I think we can get to the.
Yeah, it looks like a new picture.
What are you talking about? That's a new phone.
That's when Steve
Recent.
Austin.
They run that. They do run that clip often.
All the time.
Yeah, LeBron came to a show.
He's never been in there. Like he's never done any kind of. I've seen so many different celebrities step in there and do something. He's never done that.
I don't think so.
Giannis, I believe, did. But that was
Gronk obviously jumped off a 45-foot ledge.
true. Shaq.
LeBron. Hey, great to see Gronk back, by the way.
Yeah.
I know.
They were limiting his reps. They had Cameron Brate in a couple third downs that I thought would normally be Gronk, and I'm like, are they just easing him back, or what is this all about, you think?
Probably, yeah. Easing back, make sure, a lot of times it's true. Like, if you do try to come back or you haven't played in a while, like, you're conditioning, like, you're not in the best football shape yet. And the only way to get there is to play football. You don't want, when you are super fatigued, that sometimes can cause you to get hurt easier.
He makes absurd catches. He was running and he just threw those, I think it was described as toilet seat hands.
Yeah, Michael Lombardi.
He literally just threw his hands down. It was like, boom, just grabbed it. And then he got hit low or something. And he's unbelievable. His dexterity is amazing.
Yeah, at that size. He's
That
fast as hell, too.
Catch radius is to just be. Tom Brady's my quarterback. Could you imagine there's probably other quarterbacks that look like, could you imagine having Gronk running down the middle of the field where you can hit a actual, probably, 10-yard by 10-yard radius with how fast he's running and can move. You just got to kind of get it in the area. He's a very low-scoring target in like any of the precision throwing games. Like, hey, hit this one, you get 1 point. Why? Well, because it's a fucking barn. That is what Gronk. He makes catches just look very, very natural all over the place. He's so good at football. It was great to see him back on the field last night.
Yeah, and he lasted. And I don't know how many balls did he catch. It seemed like he caught a lot.
So he had 72 yards. I forget what the stat was. 71 yards, 8 receptions. 6.
Yeah, 6.
Am I fucking losing my eyes? Today I haven't been able to read those.
The sixes look like 8s.
Sixes
on
look a
these
lot
things.
like 8s.
The font.
Oh, oh no, dirty.
Oh, no.
Dirty. Not Dirty's fault. It's my eyes' fault. And these lights are bright, obviously, and I haven't slept much. But yeah, that one drive, Tom was, I don't want to say forcing it to him, but it looked like Tom was just looking for him. And then when he got down near the end zone, he wasn't on the field. I'm like, what? Whoa, Gronk, I have you as an anytime touchdown scorer in about 3 parlays.
Yeah, would have been nice.
That
to know
all
if that
would
was
have
in the
hit.
game plan.
Yeah, what's that all about? Hey, take him out when he scores touchdowns? Okay. I won't bet on him for anytime touchdown scorer. They did cover the 11. You and I both got a win on the end there. Shit. Ball security, stop security. Worry about the program. All right, I'm getting out of here. 3 hours and 40 minutes today. Program. This program's over. This program right here.
Big day tomorrow.
What?
Lot of. It's a packed slate tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Coach us up Chuck Wednesday, too.
And what else?
Oh, we got Jonathan Taylor on tomorrow.
And
Adam Thielen on tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Chuck Pagano.
What?
What a Wednesday.
Hey, this is a big time Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And weekly wrap up of Rap Sheet.
That's tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's tomorrow because we're off on Thursday for Thanksgiving. We'll be giving thanks in a safe way so none of us get COVID or
Always.
anything like that, obviously, because we got a long season ahead.
That's right.
You guys had a Halloween party. Why don't you have a Thanksgiving party?
Well, you don't get it. We're at a different time.
Well, you shut up.
We all had we all
like
wore
a
costumes.
week and a half ago.
That required masks.
Yeah, well, it was longer than a week and a half ago because the host of that Halloween party was very diligent on the social distancing.
Exactly.
He was.
Exactly.
And worrying about not getting too intoxicated around the fire.
Yep.
And puking in the car.
Yeah, this guy.
We're on.
Measures were taken.
Great pizza, though.
Oh,
that pizza.
The guy
Holy shit.
on this guy. Oh, my.
Reese's Pumpkins.
Oh, my. Oh.
The spinach dip.
Oh. Man, the gabagool, dude.
No meatballs, though.
Anyways, we don't know if anybody has enough of that responsibility for that for on Thanksgiving, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because we're just in the meat of this thing. We got to carry out this season in beautiful fashion, all right? We've had a pretty hot start here on the show.
Oh, yeah.
All right? Boys, you have performed fantastically through, about 50% of this season.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
AJ, you too, pal. And I'm not just talking about the regular season because we always make the playoffs here. When It's actually kind of a perk of not playing anymore. You're definitely in the playoffs. And guess what? We're going to be in the fucking Super Bowl,
That's
too.
right.
So we're not even anywhere near halfway done, actually.
Nuh-uh.
So let's remember that. When we wake up with no sleep and go, holy shit, I'm a little tired. There's a lot of people more tired than you that actually work hard jobs, real jobs.
Hell yeah.
And although this season is long and there's no light at the end of the tunnel just yet, we will continue to drive with the vigor to entertain and be the best show that we could possibly be. And some days we will be much below average. We will eat those with a fork and a knife, and we'll move on to the next day to be slightly above average. And we will continue that standard and maintain that stamina all the way through the Super Bowl in fucking Los Angeles.
Yeah!
Let's go, huh, AJ? Let's have a Wednesday tomorrow.
Here we fucking go, boys!
That's right. The season starts after Thanksgiving, right? Isn't that what they always tell us?
That's what they
That's
say.
right. Hey, thank you to Justin Herbert earlier. We appreciate you, Herbert.
Thank you, Herbert.
Thank you, Herbert. Thank you to Aaron Rodgers and his COVID. Thank you. Now let's get out of here. We're back tomorrow. AJ, on you. Here we go. On you, please.
What are we doing?
Break them
I thought this for Chuck.
Break it up. Break it up, AJ.
Go, AJ.
Here we go. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right. See you guys tomorrow. Cheers.